Welcome to the show. My name is Monger. What's your name?
It's your boy Marcus. Bust down, Pantheonas. Happy Thursday, as usual.
Where do we begin? Royal Rumble, Obafemi, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, all participants, all attended. One made a splash though. One made a splash, beginning with number one. We back at it again. That's right. Bust down. Did he beat you to it?
Nah, I said it first, but I appreciate the bandwagon for sure. Let's keep that going. No, very up and down for me. It was a sight to see that many black faces on a WWE PW or PLE. For sure. I'm very hyped for Trick Williams because I don't think that they thought he was going to be the one to be that over or have that much appeal to the audience that quickly. I think they bet pretty hard on Obafemi, and Trick Williams was just kind of like a welcome surprise for them. So I'm glad that they can't hide him, like they're using him in ways that they seem to be allergic to using other wrestlers such as LA Knight. Or
he doesn't know anything about Trick Williams or Obafemi. You're talking about Triple H. I saw him on the post show mispronouncing Javon Evans and Saul Ruka. And he's
how hard is it to say Javon? Oh, no. Hold on. You wait just a second. I will officially apologize to you. I'm gonna sit up here. No, I have to apologize to you because I didn't know Saul Ruka's dad was black. So when I'm over here talking shit, I'm thinking it was another Haley Steinfeld situation, like one of her great grandparents or something was biracial.
It was close enough down the family tree to mention.
Yeah, like she's literally as black as Jada Parker. I can see. My bad, my bazy. But no, Lash Legend. I felt like was really apologies, but
the result of Haley Steinfeld's skin tone could be darker if the Filipino parents that she had were darker and she came out dark. If just a random gamble, if her her grandfather had more melanin transferred to her mom, like I just think it's a matter of okay, the baby came out as under melanated. I'm still not gonna knock Haley Steinfeld's lineage. Likewise with
or
I'm gonna recognize it.
The fact that neither one of her parents are black.
Who
does that play a factor? You think
Haley Steinfeld? Yeah, yes. But like black needs to be defined. I look at, and that's the trouble here because we're using the word black instead of saying what I want to use, which would be lineage.
There's biracial.
Or you can interrupt me before I finish.
There's a lot of different designations. They exist for a reason, and it's why we use them. It's not an all or nothing proposition. But I would think if you're going to call somebody black, at least one of their parents should actually be.
I don't really get caught up on calling Saul Ruka black or calling Haley Steinfeld black. I just wanted to recognize their parentage. But the ultimate test is Triple H, and if he can mispronounce your name, which he did with Saul Ruka, just like Javon Evans, I think. We gonna argue with Triple K?
Yeah, you got it right. No, Saul Ruka had a good showing too. She was lit. I was gonna say Lash Legend kind of stole the show. What the hell is it with Bria? Is it a black woman thing? Like they don't like black girls over there? Like I couldn't understand why they were booing Lash Legend.
I didn't pick it up because I'm thinking, okay, this is a heel who gets booed. I'm just watching the wrestling match regularly.
You hear her call him feedback afterwards. Overrated?
Sorry,
did you hear the overrated chants?
And I heard the overrated chants. Right, I'm all right. Okay, if she was playing a good guy getting booed, maybe I would have gathered it. But I think maybe there's something to that because she's black and a woman, that's like lower status in that culture. I guess I'm open.
If I'm thinking back correctly, I don't think that. The last time they went to Saudi Arabia.
Jade Cargill dressed up like Storm. Did she get booed for that? Was she a heel?
I don't know if I don't recall. I don't really remember. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. It was odd because she was really a bright spot in the match in a kind of a really surpriseless match, to be honest.
I think the hypothesis is out there, and they can either confirm or they can just not confirmed, and it's up to the next time they go there for when they're out there for They're there for WrestleMania a year and some change from right now. So we'll see what it is.
Which is kind of hard to think about, man, because I mean, either they didn't sell out the Rumble or people kind of trickled in as things got going.
Oh, I
But
know
the
what you
women's
mean.
Rumble,
I know
like
what you
I
mean
know
by
they were
that though.
doing the light
The
thing.
angle, the sellout of the Rumble thing, the angle from like the floor. If you just seen someone on like a cell phone cam, you can see there's many people there. But from
For sure.
the television, they all had white lights that were behind them, and because
The
that
light
white light,
show thing, yeah.
it makes everything else darker. And there were actually people underneath each of those lights. The crowd was full.
So, well, it wasn't though, because they didn't sell out. That was the point I was making. Like it was only 25,000 seats. They didn't sell out 25,000 seats, which is odd again for such a big show in a place where previously you did have success. And I thought the light show only added to like point it out. Later in the show, it didn't really matter because everybody was in, it was full. I think Riyadh might be one of them places where like it's a lot of stuff going on and maybe people weren't there at the start. Like that happens in football games, basketball games. It happens in a lot of American sports too. But I for whatever it's worth though, I think they have to start because I don't really think that was a great presentation to be, overseas or to be, courting your foreign partner, your future owner is seeming like here at one point in time. So I feel like going down the stretch here, we got to really figure out what we're doing going into these PLEs. Like there was no build for the women's rumble. There was really no storylines that we were tracking. Most of the chicks that we care about in the women's division are wrapped up in the tag team division.
Isn't that true? Well, the
Yeah,
Alexa and the Charlotte story,
Charlotte, the
Liv
Rio.
eliminated Raquel Rodriguez, which was a huge storyline, and
Yeah.
they talked on and referenced it on Monday.
And that was it though, but they let it go. And then now she's fighting for in the Stephanie Vicaire Philly Brawl match on Raw. So it's like all this start-stop stuff with the storylines. We've been working on Finn Balor betraying the Judgment Day for a minute. Like we've been working on that angle for a minute. I am done with Sami Zayn. We can hang it up. Let's hang it up. Like we are really beating a dead horse now. Because how many times can you pull the rug out from underneath the guy? Like it's not believable anymore.
Some people are not meant to win, and Sami Zayn might be the guy. I'd say the time to pull the trigger would be that Roman Reigns match in Montreal, Elimination Chamber 2023. They did not pull the trigger. Okay, It's going to take some time to heat him up. I think they know that they've got a year until Mania next year, where he's going to be over, where that may be a main event to send the fans happy with. But you also got to build, and who knows, injuries happen. They've got an option
why,
next
like I
year.
say, it's a long way off, and you're really betting for everything
it is.
Yeah, they're betting that everything will align perfectly. Sure. And I feel like at this later stage, though, with him, it just feels like it's not believable to the point where if you finally do it at a point, you get a jeer instead of cheers. Like you've been waiting on it for so long that now I don't really want it. Like I don't believe that Sami Zayn is a main eventer because you've reminded me time after time after time after time after time. Like you said, some people just aren't meant to win. So why continue to show that guy in the title cards or the title matches?
It's the same reason why they had Roman Reigns become a top star. Because one day he's gonna wrestle The Rock. One day, they're both Samoan cousins, right? We'll build to that one day.
But that doesn't exist for Sami Zayn. That upward mobility doesn't exist for him.
He's got one day. We have WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. That's an important market, so we'll build towards that.
But do you think Triple H is going to have Sami Zayn headline WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia? I don't think that's going to be a thing.
With Cody Rhodes losing 1 year, taking a full year to get back, and he got hotter and he heated up a lot with the Brock Lesnar feud, with a lot of the things that he did in the year where he wasn't champion. You can do the same with Sami Zayn, and that's a plan. That's a route. There's also a CM Punk route who's over. Like they got a long way to build to WrestleMania next year. The WrestleMania this year, what I'm thinking about is like Braun Breaker, who was number 2 at the Rumble. Oba was on one end, and Dude was number 2. He got eliminated by a masked man. Am I sharing the screen? He got basically punked by that dude over there. We don't know who it is. Could be Seth Rollins. It could be anyone. Whenever they do the reveal, it's probably gonna be
I
Seth
know
Rollins.
who it is.
Adam Pearce?
Turning my stomach.
Who is it?
I think that's what's the dude running around with the New Day?
Grayson Waller?
Yeah.
It probably was him who was wearing that, but when they do the unmasking, who will it be? Because probably Seth. That's what Professor said.
I mean, but see, like, I didn't think Seth's not. He's not busy, or so maybe they'll just kick it out until he's healthy again. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
My thought is that we had the same kind of, like, at least for me, it was a head scratcher when it ended up being Austin Theory and he just added into the vision. So I'm looking at a similar type of thought process right now. Like, I don't see that Triple H or whoever else is making these decisions is planning very far ahead. Like, we've been promoting WrestleMania since since Survival Series, really. Like, we've been promoting WrestleMania for a minute.
And
what are the WrestleMania storylines though? Like, what's leading into WrestleMania right now?
Adam Pearce and Braun Breaker are gonna have a match. Adam Pearce wrestled before he became this producer role.
Yeah.
And he got back in shape recently. He even said, "Can't wait to get in the ring." I think they're gonna do Braun Breaker versus the general manager Adam Pearce.
Man, okay, I would love to see that on like a random Raw, leading up to WrestleMania. I do not want to see Braun Breaker, Adam Pearce at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's a long-term story. Man. The GM versus the wrestler. That's a good novelty.
And then also, it doesn't take that long to build that arc. Like, we could have did that at the Rumble. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have smacked around Adam Pearce and then actually went into the Rumble. I don't feel like that arc takes that long.
Yeah, it takes long. He's got to be screwed over and over where, man, this is a big deal. Now we're going after management. Like, it doesn't just take one grievance.
He suspended him like 3 times already. Like, how many? Like, let's get to it. That's kind of the problem. They don't ever get to it. Then somebody gets hurt.
Long-term story.
They have to abort the storyline and start all over from scratch. What the hell happened to Nikki Bella's heel run? What happened to that shit? Now she's back in the tag division.
Yeah. Did you hear their motivation? But they had a good little motivation. We're the original tag team. We know now that we have a tag team championship belt, that's something to aspire to. Brie wants to wrestle so that her kids can see mom is cool. I'm very okay with the Bella twins.
That's fine, but it just doesn't align with what we've been watching Nikki doing for the last month. It doesn't align at all. Out of left field. So when we got to the point of comfortably booing her, now we have to cheer again.
Yeah, we're cheering for Brie. Nikki's just there along for the ride.
Sure, yeah, I guess. Actual mixed tag team, a heel and a face on a tag team together.
A mixed tag team.
Yeah.
And then we get the eliminations that started. You see, the first 5 people who were eliminated by Oba, the ruler.
Oba.
He got Rusev. He got Solo Sikoa here. Let me fast forward. There he is. He got eliminated, Solo Sikoa. How did Rey Mysterio fare? Get out of here. What? You want to survive, Rey Mysterio? What? Watch this one. Pow. Obafemi was a force to be reckoned with. Matt Cardona couldn't last. He got power bombed.
Got that boy up. He's on his tippy toes. That shit is nuts.
And he just said, skedaddle. Go back to Ring of Honor. That was cool. The first 5 eliminations going to Obafemi. And of course,
this is not. This is more down the road planning. Like, let's have this. Like, let us have the moments, man. It's not like we're at a loss for exciting things happening on these expensive ass streaming service pay-per-views. Just give us the stuff. Like, I understand, Lesnar, best Obafemi, he's the wily vet in this matchup. The next time they'll actually have a match, or they'll actually have a battle. Give it to us now. This feels very like fucking Marvel MCU. Like, we'll piecemeal it. We'll lay the crumbs for later, and then we never get to later. Like, let's do it. How long do you think Lesnar is going to keep showing up doing this stuff anyway?
So what makes you think this won't be the WrestleMania program? This just makes sense to me.
Now, okay, if it ends up being that, I'll tip my
Yeah.
cap and say I was wrong. I have no confidence that Obafemi Brock Lesnar is coming in WrestleMania. None.
So who would Brock? Who do you think Brock might be facing? Okay, then who do you think Oba might be facing?
I was gonna say.
Sheamus?
So hold on.
I would love
wait.
to see
So
some Sheamus Obafemi. That would be cool. Sorry, well, I asked you
Sheamus
the question.
versus
I
Obafemi?
answered it. Yeah, no, but who would you want to see Oba versus? Who do you think they're building towards? He's gonna get the War Raiders again?
Nah. Who's like the king of the mid cards right now? Who owns the mid card section? It's got to be somebody that has been. Who's that?
Dominic Mysterio versus Obafemi. That sounds juicy.
Now that would be now that's we talking now. Now you talking. I would love to see that match.
So there's a history of people locking eyes at the Royal Rumble, and they're gonna do something about it. We know that Jade Cargill and Charlotte had one. We had one back in the day with Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, and the Shawn Michaels Undertaker eye lock led to like a crazy back-to-back WrestleManias 25 and 26. There's a precedence for this.
So the Jade Cargill Charlotte Flair thing is a perfect example. It's a perfect example because that stare down that you talked about happened before Jade won the title, I think.
It was her first match, I think, when she debuted at the Rumble, I think.
Yeah, so like I'm trying to figure out how from way back then there's nothing, maybe like a passing by backstage or something like that.
It was the injury.
Yeah. Okay. Who?
Charlotte was injured for a long time.
Not in between that the stare down that we're talking about, and now Charlotte's been healthy for at least like the last year. Since she came back in the Rumble, I think. Since she won last year's Rumble, she's been healthy.
Yeah, she's been healthy for a year. What year are you talking about then?
So I'm talking about there was a time, I think, right after she beat up Naomi, maybe, and she was walking up the ramp and caught Charlotte. And they did a quick little, little back and forth, and then she went back in the ring. Then there was another one where they were coming out as a tag, her and Alexa, and Storm. The Storm was on her way back. I called her Storm. That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. And Jade was on her way back, and they stared down again. So meanwhile, the last 2 months of Jade Cargill has been smack the shit out of Chelsea Green, smack the shit out of B-Fab, and then go sit down. Like, it's like, was she going to defend her title at all? It's been like 3 months now. Let's go ahead and use the Charlotte Flair angle. You're clearly priming her to go back singles anyways. They need somebody to work with. Let's do the thing. Why are we so slow on the trigger now all of a sudden at WWE? Like, we don't need these events. It's not like people are overloaded with, it's not AEW. They're not doing crazy stuff. They need to be doing more AEW stuff.
Now, Jade Cargill's too busy interviewing the stars.
And of course, you consider each other family.
45 years.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow, that is an absolutely long time. So, what would your signature move be if you were a professional wrestler?
Well, I would run around the ring
No.
as fast as I could.
You need the belly-to-belly suplex. I'm old school. Like, you know what I mean? I like the figure four. I could go like Snooker off the top.
Okay,
I might have to go
Snooker?
Superfly off the top rope.
Okay. So you'll be a high flyer.
I think I would have to be. I got to get
in my fantasy.
Okay.
I got to get to
a runner.
I got to get to terminal velocity before I hurt somebody. You know what
God.
I mean? So
I understand. How difficult is it to switch your mind frame from director to actor?
That's not a fun question. We're good. But like, it's interesting to hear the actors talk about pro wrestling in that fashion because it shows how long ago they were a fan. They're talking about Superfly Snooker. Sure. They're talking about the figure four.
He did say Superfly Snooker.
That man's daughter retired from wrestling. That's how old he is.
That's hilarious. He said Jesse Ventura. Yeah, hook him up.
And the belly to belly suplex is done by Bailey, so it's really not that old school. Someone else uses the maneuver. Last report I read that says they're protecting her and they don't want to expose her. That's valid because Jade Cargill is not Bianca Belair.
Well, no, she's stiff. She's definitely stiff. But like, I feel like, and I didn't watch it, but I know she had a whole nother run on another company, and they were doing something with her. So like, she's not
exposing her weaknesses or exposing her shortcomings.
Is that what was happening? Like she
Yeah,
looked
she was
bad in her AEW
like
run?
she did what she needed to do. Powerful stuff, good athleticism, but
Yeah.
the in-betweens, the move to move, the storytelling, it wasn't bad. It was just not deserving of her status right now.
And you know what? I could take that if I don't have to fucking watch Gunther every fucking week. Do nothing but lumber around and headlock his way to victories. It is like, it feels like backyard wrestling with your little brother. I don't even understand sometimes what I'm watching. It was one thing with Cena, right? We had to get Cena out of here. That was the retirement match. Let Gunther do it. Cool. All right, fine. But with AJ Styles, it was so obvious that even when Gunther gets up to the top rope and does the cross belly, it looks like he's just like falling off the top rope. Literally, I know that's what you're supposed to do, but it doesn't look very graceful. I'm not trying to say that Jade Cargill doesn't need to improve. Her mic work needs some work. She's very Jey Uso right now, but she's a powerhouse. And in this WWE, who doesn't promote big people, why is not Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley and even Raquel Rodriguez running through the division? Why do you treat them like how they used to treat cruiserweights, like how you used to treat Spike Dudley? Like you gotta. I don't understand. They're the monsters. They're the ones that are intimidating. So let them do intimidating things. Let them go out there and win matches and blow people's heads off. Like make a female Lesnar. It's not very hard to do it for Brock Lesnar, is it? Let him come down, kick ass, throw people around. We're out of there. I don't feel like it's that difficult.
Okay, Jade Cargill fan. Let's go to this portion. It says it's the most replayed part of the interview. I just want to see what it is.
To the operator, and the operator would turn and look and nod and go like, I saw it too in the camera, and that's how they would know that they have the scene.
It makes me think of
bring the paper so close to you.
Oh, sorry, right here. Okay, sorry about that.
No.
It makes me think of wrestling because it's so.
Oh, the most replayed part is the producer off screen saying something. I guess that's why it was most replayed. I thought it would be something better. My bad. Let's continue with this Royal Rumble. So Trick Williams, okay, he showed up. He had an appearance. First, he debuted when he face to face with Sami Zayn. He talked face to face to Randy Orton. He won a couple of matches. I think he beat Phoenix, and I think he beat Kit Wilson. I think it was. Maybe I'm wrong, but Matt Cardona. So, anyways,
Matt Cardona. Yeah.
Trick Williams had some victories, and then he goes on his merry way to the main event of Montreal in the Saturday night's main event. I love that. There was an issue where Sami Zayn did a tope con hilo, and instead of landing directly on Trick Williams, he landed a little forward. And I do think that maybe Trick Williams is getting the blame for that, because in the Royal Rumble match itself, nothing impressive from the guy. He was in there for maybe like 4 spots. He didn't really last. I don't remember anything he did, except when he entered and he was still wearing his white jacket, whooping on people. That was kind of cool. And I liked listening to the crowd all say, whoop that Trick. They did it in
that shit caught on so fast. That shit caught on really fast.
In Germany, they did it. Yeah, they did it crazy. And salute to the NXT fans. There's like a core 7 or 8 NXT fans who are loud and add to the performers. So salute to those like 4 or 5 guys who are there yelling at the top of their lungs. Trick Williams.
Well, but it transfers though, right? I think if you got some Joe Hendry on the main roster here soon, I don't think it wouldn't surprise me for everybody to be on time with the claps, the turnaround, all of that. I think it transfers to hardcore wrestling fans. But then again, who do you think is paying these astronomical prices to fill up the arenas anyways? It's hardcore wrestling fans, so they know. You know who I feel bad for is the dude they just got from AEW, Hobbs or Royce Keys. First of all, if you put it on the Tron, can't you just, if obviously you got rights to it, so why don't you just let him keep his name? Like, why can't he be Powerhouse Hobbs?
Yeah, they are allowed to use Powerhouse Hobbs. He was using it prior to even joining AEW. It's his name. Everything's cool. Same with CM Punk. He used it before. He can use his name. But they want to have ownership over you, and that kind of stuff is terrible. Because they think of guys like Ricochet, who left the company, and they're still being able to be called Ricochet. They're at a point now where AEW exists, so they don't want you to have your name that we just helped you build go to AEW. And I think it's so stupid. Powerhouse Hobbs is a great name. Plus,
Chris Jericho?
Plus, the dude is 34 years old, and you're gonna sign him. You're probably gonna keep him if things go well. You're gonna keep him for the next 10 years. Are you afraid of a 44-year-old Powerhouse Hobbs going to AEW? Don't worry about something like that.
Who is Chris Jericho then? Is he Chris Jericho over there?
Yeah, AEW doesn't do the name change thing. They don't care.
They don't give a shit. So if you come from WWE to go to there, you can keep your name. Like Andrade. Is he still Andrade?
Yeah, I think his government is actually Andrade though. Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, you can't take that away.
You can't take that stuff away. There's that, which is kind of cool. Andrade gets to be his, and Chris Jericho had his name in freaking Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Like this guy's been a guy. 1990s with Lance Storm.
Gotcha.
If I could be serious for a moment. How we in a new era and CM Punk is the champion?
That's talk to him, bro. Because that's the last thing I kind of want to know.
The answer is talent. No, don't give me that.
No, that's fine. He's still a good wrestler, but it is really telling that Roman can show up like once every 90 days and win a championship. Because what are you doing with the rest of the guys? And I don't think that's from a lack of talent on the roster, right? Like Braun Breaker has been about to be champion for about a year. Jacob Fatu for a while was budding on elevating into title presence. You tried it with Jey Uso, you didn't really give it very much time. And then even Cody is starting to get there in a certain regard where it's like, all right, how many different more ways can we cut this pie? We got him over. We did the thing. We had the epic thing with Roman and The Rock, and we never really finished the Rock thing, but it just feels like we need to be moving on to younger talent. You know what I mean? They're gonna let their younger generation age before they ever decide to push them seriously.
That's legit. But the job of cultivating talent who are young is being well executed by Matt Bloom, the head coach over there, and Shawn Michaels. That guy is teaching guys how to wrestle. He taught Swerve Strickland how to wrestle. And look at, not true. Swerve Strickland has been a great wrestler even before joining WWE, but Swerve is doing fantastic things in AEW. So the talent is being taught, and it's just up to Triple H to like hit play and hit go. It feels like he has hit go on Obafemi. With Powerhouse Hobbs, unknown yet. Maybe he'll be on SmackDown maybe, and we'll kind of see what's going on there. But I'm fairly certain that Obafemi's good. I can wait on Javon Evans. He does not need to be the world champion in a record time quicker than Randy Orton was.
Don't let him fall, man. Don't let him just wither away fighting fucking Americanos. I'm already getting tired of that because he's very talented and he's exciting. Like, I like guys that can do things that nobody else can do. And when you see that, you're supposed to put that out in front of people. We're not supposed to be laboring around watching out of shape Germans do headlocks all night. Like, I want to see something exciting like an OG Cutter. I want to see like more of Mello, right? Mello has been killing it as a U.S. title guy, right? As a mid
Yeah, but he's short, so there's a ceiling on him. He's like a black character in Marvel.
Shawn Michaels is short. Everybody they want to push is short.
Huh? Are you watching the same product I've ever watched?
Braun Breaker's like 6'1". Cody Rhodes is like maybe 6'1". Maybe he's 6 feet.
Mellow shorter than Cody and Braun.
But so what? It's not like they're pushing giants. Like,
height matters.
Difference?
They are pushing giants.
I don't really.
They've historically with the tall guys. The big guys are always doing great things.
Tell that to Daniel Bryant. Tell that to Cody Rhodes. Tell that to Shawn Michaels. I mean, like we got guys.
Shawn Michaels. I'll point to two other guys during his era who are bigger than him.
So, do we want better wrestling or just bigger guys? Because I mean, I don't.
I'm recognizing the bias that exists for the really, really strong big dudes, and I recognize that there's a handicap against Carmelo Hayes and that he'll be restricted. Of course, cream rises to the top. AJ Styles, as phenomenal as he is, he had a hell of a career. 48 years old, and he goes out on his sword. He says that I don't want to have my performances and my quote, my legacy be tarnished. I don't want you to think of me as anything else but this, with his abs and all his good stuff. So he is out. He actually talked to Stephanie McMahon Helmsley, and let's see what he says.
Yeah, stay connected.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes. And I noticed it looked like you were going to put your gloves down, but then you didn't, and you put them back on. What does that mean?
Means he's facing the Young
I
Bucks.
don't know. I don't know. I think
Because you know this is wrestling.
I know.
The door is always open, is all I mean.
I know. Never say never, right? That's the saying. And you know, I think everybody's allowed at least once come out of retirement. You know,
For
kind of
sure.
match.
For
I'm
sure.
not saying that I'll do it anytime soon. I'm just saying that.
I mean,
What if my
has
son?
there been anybody who hasn't?
I don't know.
Has there? You know, pretty much everyone
Anybody
who's
think-
retired
yeah.
has actually come back.
At least once.
Yeah, at
right?
least once.
I thought that was how it worked here.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be.
Well, I mean, what if my son wrestles?
Yeah,
What
No,
the opportunity
AJ,
to tag
I'm not
with him
waiting for your
once?
son to start
Right.
wrestling. How old is his son?
And you never know. So there'll be a time with the gloves will never go back on, and it may be now, but we'll see.
AJ's 48 years old. So how old is his son? His son
Damn.
could be 20.
Okay, so maybe a couple of years we'll take it off if he's entertaining it. I don't think he's done for good.
He just told us he's not done for good. He just let you know not anytime soon. I think he needs the contract to expire, and then he's calling Tony Khan, and he's gonna face Kenny Omega for the Bullet Club and do all that stuff. I think that's what he's got to pretend like he's really gone.
Okay, maybe. I'm trying to think if
Good
there's
show,
anybody
good show.
else in the Royal Rumble I was thinking about.
Oba Femi and Trick Williams are big guys, but they are new to the main roster. Yeah, but
Yeah,
because
Trick's
of
like
their
6'5".
size, with their size, they're going to be given so much grace. There's going to be a push for these guys, like Ryback got, even though he didn't deserve one, or he didn't deserve a sustained push at least. Yeah, they're going to be treated nicely. Trick Williams is
I
great.
mean, Javon Evans is not small. He's like at least like 6'3", 6'4". He's tall. He's not big, but he's tall.
Yeah, Javon Evans has height, so he'll be fine in the long run. When the flippity dippity stuff doesn't work for him, he can do what Will Ospreay did and just add more meat to the bones, and you look marketable like that. Like it's there's so much nice things to do with Javon, and I'm really not worried about Javon Evans in the long run. He's great at wrestling.
I don't want them to forget about him, man. We just got done talking about how they've been working on Sami Zayn for years. We can talk about LA Knight all damn night, but I don't want him to be that. Like just another talented guy withering away on the roster because they don't know what to do with him.
Neither do I. But if it takes you 7 years to become a champion, that's not withering away.
No,
Ask a guy like Bret Hart how long it took for him to be champ.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I just don't. I don't wish him to be a 40-year-old still chasing a title. You know.
Yeah, neither do I. But that's 19 years from now.
Okay. Hey, listen, I'm optimistic as you are. We
With
know
him.
what hurdles exist, and we know that the guy running the show right now doesn't necessarily like when other people have their things outside of what he created.
Yeah.
When people naturally have something that goes over well with fans, he don't like it. And he finds a way to either make it silly or honestly just beat it into the ground. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
AJ and AEW would be amazing. I just want him to do 3 or 4 matches, really. But yeah, he'd be
Wolverine
amazing.
is like my subconscious. He's definitely my subconscious because when I was talking about withering away on the roster, That is exactly who I was talking about. And I seen him at a dark show, an NXT dark show. It was like a clip on Twitter, and I want to just say that it was the holiday season and he got to get back in shape, but I understand why he's on the house show right now, and it hurts. It hurts because I was hoping he was going to be the next, masked man, maybe on Seth Rollins' faction, and we'll have the Vision versus whatever is Seth Rollins' new group, but not looking like that, dog. Not looking like that.
I'm looking at it, and I see the picture that you may have seen.
You know what I'm talking about, when he was trying to get off his jacket?
Little bit of not very, like, with respect, he looks better than me.
Yeah, no, all due respect. I'm a fan. I am a big, huge fan.
But this was him in Montreal, I guess.
Yeah. You're going to have to get that together, Montez. But then again, I mean, you left my man off TV for like 2 months.
Well, he could have had an injury. He could have had a personal health issue that kept him away, which would be
What's up with Bianca?
Understandable.
What kind of finger injury keeps you out for a year?
Who got a finger injury?
Bianca.
Oh, okay. Bianca got a finger injury. I don't know. Yeah, maybe she's pregnant again. Like, people keep things private. I don't really know. But if they could use Bianca Belair, they would. They main evented WrestleMania with her. She's good.
No, I'm not saying she's in trouble or anything. I'm just wondering where the hell she was at. I was definitely expecting a return before now. Definitely at Royal Rumble. Just, it's been a year.
Mm-hmm. Let's move forward with more. That was a good little wrestling chat. And when I say little, I mean 37 minutes. I'm amped. Even though Javon didn't win, Trick Williams didn't win, Oba didn't win, or Powerhouse, or Carmelo, or Apollo Crews, or Montez, or Angelo, or who else is black on the roster? That's male. Those are they got like seven guys.
I think that's it. Yeah,
that's fine. I don't need all 7 of these guys to become a world champion. I'm good with one guy on Raw and one guy on SmackDown, and that's better than we have ever had. Well, The Rock and Booker T. That was probably the best we've ever had, because they main evented SummerSlam 2001.
Raw, no, Trick is on SmackDown. Trick's on SmackDown.
They main evented SummerSlam 2001. And the other black main event of a pay-per-view was Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair at Mania 37.
Yeah.
It's happened twice.
Who do you think is the next NXT call-up now that they've kind of emptied the coffers? Is it Saints? Is it Jada Parker? Is it
Ethan Page?
Monroe?
Ethan Page from Hamilton, Ontario.
Ethan Page.
My main man, Ethan Page. I was on a wrestling card with Ethan Page, and I was the main event of that wrestling card. Yes, that's very true. You know why? Because I wrestled the promoter, the guy who ran the show. He wanted to whoop on somebody, so I got my ass kicked by him. But Ethan Page, Julian, wrestled on that card, and I main evented, so I got that over him.
Nice, little chill monger lore.
Yeah. Triple H Ideas is up there with Mae Young giving birth to a hand. Yeah, and I learned the backstory behind that. There was a device for providing pleasure back in the days that was a hand and was small. And so the joke is the kid got older at the Raw 1000 celebration.
Gross.
Joe Hendry, he could get called up, but he just won the NXT title yesterday.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Booker T said he's doing the commentary for the WWE 2K, and he sings Joe Hendry's song, and he does whoop that trick, and he does the ad libs for some other wrestlers too. That he just Stephanie Vacour with that Yeah. That's great.
No, that's cool. I don't really play the game, but that'll be good for the game players, I guess. Very authentic.
How do you do? Darkroom Reviews is in the building.
What up?
Sheldon Benjamin was a beast back in the early 2000s. Yep, he's a beast today too. So, where could we go next? We could go to Kevin Feige staying in the MCU, because out with Bob Iger, Bob Chapek is long gone, and now there's a new guy in the scene. I think his name was Joe
Diamaro.
He's here. He's in charge, and it looks like there's signs because the trades are speaking for him. And Kevin, old Feige, old Triple K Feige, he's back and he's staying. There's no reason to switch over or try to use some new manager, new overseer, new anything. I understood this reference. I don't know. I don't watch him. I've seen clips, and I never actually watched the match beginning to end of Ricky Sosa. So, like, I hope he's good. He was still putting great matches last year in AEW. Who was still putting on great matches last year in AEW?
Shelton Benjamin.
Okay, Shelton Benjamin. Yeah, sure. He hurts people. So with Kevin Feige's status, your boy Blue from Blue's House, who was live streaming right before when we started, he may still be live now. He's kind of upset with this. He thinks that Kevin Feige is not the guy with the Midas touch, and I've heard him to speak on it. I'm okay with Kevin Feige staying so long as he does the right thing with the characters, and maybe he'll take a lesson from Joe Diamaro, who says, recast T'Challa, no more stupid shit.
Yeah, no, I would like to see Kevin out with the rest of the bathwater, because first of all, a Kathleen Kennedy, Kevin Feige, Bob Iger clean sweep like that feels like that feels like a promising tomorrow, not for the sake of like, oh, you know, the replacements or some savior, just that in the entire vision of the company, full stop, now has to take a reflective view and make wholesale changes in some regards. Like they have to. It's a totally new regime. Kevin Feige feels like the rudder. He feels like the connective tissue to the old regime. Now, that could prove itself to be positive, right? Kevin Feige certainly is no slouch in the movie business. However, I think a lot of our narrative problems in the MCU, I don't necessarily think that was all Iger. Like I don't feel like that was a heavy-handed overseer. If there was anybody in the Disney umbrella who was getting their autonomy, getting the longest leash, it was Kevin Feige. And I thought that was apparent from when they went through their last restructuring and firings. And the only thing that happened to Kevin Feige was he said, no, you don't get to make a Star Wars movie. And that was it. So like, I can't really put too much into it being, oh, well, now Iger's gone, he really gets to do what he wants to do. I think he's been doing what he wants to do. And I think a lot of the problems that we have with some of the criticisms in the universe right now are born of the ideology of Kevin Feige, right? I don't want you to do homework. I want you to watch the TV shows, and I want them to be isolated. I want you to be able to pop in on these shows as like a slice of life or whatever the hell, right? So like that leads to a deterioration of creators in that umbrella connecting and talking to each other and making sure that all of these pieces fit together. He's also very, well, we won't talk about the dark times of Phase 5, but that happened, right? And that was his correction or his idea of how to move the universe out of the Infinity Saga was Phase 5. So like, at some point you gotta rip it out, root and stem, if you want something new.
What I would take is a report that his contract has been renewed. I would take that as, okay, Kevin Feige's staying for real. He's staying long term. It's smart to keep him until at least Avengers Secret Wars to see what happens. And I'm waiting. Like simply I'm waiting for that day, for that Secret Wars movie to happen. The movie should do fine. It's Doomsday. The Russos are directing. They have capable screenwriters. The movie should be fine. Kevin Feige should be fine.
I don't think that the movie is it anymore. Like, you already know what my feelings are about the movie. We don't have to argue about that tonight. But even beyond what they got going on theatrical in the next couple of years, I wonder how we sustain in between movies when we're discussing Wonder Man season 2 seriously, or according to Daniel RPK, if you believe those kind of things. But even that it's on the table. A Wonder Man season 2. See, like, that is an idea born of Kevin Feige's direction. Like, he still believes that he can do those type of projects. That is not just it was in the pipeline, we had to do it. No. He believed in it because he put it out there. And if he's making a season 2, then he's committed to it. I don't see how we can continue to split brain this thing. We're here on one side, on the TV side, we're doing all this thought-provoking stuff and all this meta commentary on life and actual, professions and stuff like that, and not superhero content, but then still sustain all the excitement in the world to go to the theaters to watch it. Like, it's too many directions. Too many directions. So again, he's going to have to seize this opportunity to really hone in and decide what's important in this last phase, like to get you through the mutant saga, what it seems like what you want to do. You want to introduce the mutants and then you can go and ride off into the sunset. If that's going to be successful, what is the priority here? Like, continuing to make the MCU Oscar worthy, or riding the ship, getting the coalition of fans that you had that drove this thing to a multi-billion-dollar franchise in the first place?
The priority of the TV shows, like Wonder Man's getting a season 2, priority is, it's going to get watch time again. We'll do it. There's no storytelling narrative that Kevin Feige cares for. He's already told us of how the TV is going to be different than what he's going to do with the movies. He's a movie guy. Brad Winterbottom, go ahead, take care of what happens on television. What you want to do? Animated Spider-Man and animated X-Men. You want to animate Moon Girl? You want to animate Moon Boy? You want to go ahead,
that's
go.
A mistake.
You're supposed to have this many TV shows a year. That's your directive. Go have fun, Brad Winterbottom. I'm going to focus on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Cinematic being emphasis.
That's a mistake. We should have never linked the television shows to the cinematic universe. Then
why?
Because you have to nurture it. If it's a part of the universe, it's a part of the universe. You can't disconnect them.
Then you should do the TV shows with care. Then it's not.
They should have kept that in its own isolated thing, because now you can't just let Brad Winterbottom play however he wants to play. This stuff was only good. We only gave a shit about it when it was connected to what was happening on the silver screen. The more they give that up, the worse it gets. And to your point about Wonder Man and watch time, I haven't seen them touting anything about the success other than it's the most watched thing on Disney Plus, which is the same thing they say about every show on Disney Plus.
Yeah, because there's nothing to watch on Disney Plus.
That's not an accomplishment.
Is it competing with a 30-minute long Simpsons episode? Like, what are we talking about?
But you're making my point for me. It's not that it's a successful feature. If they would, they'd be like, oh my God, we gained so many subscribers. Oh my God, our watch time's through the roof. No, it's the most watched thing on Disney Plus.
It's a ranking. It's not a statistic.
We're not arguing. You're saying the same thing I am. It's a meaningless stat that they are throwing out to hype up the show, but there's nothing tangible that says that this was popular. There's nothing. There's no vast sleuth of Wonder Man fans out there clamoring for season 2. So like, why is it even necessary to waste time? Okay, X-Men 97, cool. You want to do Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man 2? That was popular. That actually brought people to the service, and it grew general interest. I will let you have that.
And it probably costed them like $8 million.
Yeah, it didn't cost them a lot. But Wonder Man is absolutely not a venture that we need to delve back into. I still don't even know if people are going to give a shit about Vision Quest. Are people even going to give a shit about that show? How many Disney Plus failures can we actually survive before it starts eating away at the theater audience?
Yeah, they know that. And that's why the Vision Quest budget will be low like the Wonder Man budget. It's going to be pretty hard to watch. I'm not going to watch Vision Quest. I'll wait for you guys to tell me whether or not it's good. Just like I waited for you to talk to me about Wonder Man, and you guys told me he's going to be a mutant. And again, I said this earlier in the stream from
But
earlier
that
today.
wasn't even in the show. They just said that shit. Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
I can go now? Cool.
Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
If they make Wonder Man a mutant that takes away, that's a black character who is a mutant. That would mean that them in all their tolerance and all their giving of blackness that they can do, it would mean that that guy took a spot from how many black characters from the X-Men we were gonna get.
That's only because they absorbed Hulu. That doesn't. It's not impressive to me. Subscribe. They bought another.
They have more than Prime and Netflix. Is that right?
Now they do. Now that they absorbed. Now after they absorbed Hulu.
Good for them. And Max.
But let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? It ain't because the content on the app. It's because of the acquisitions. But shout out to Hulu though. Hulu's got some good content coming out. Shout out to Paradise season 2. Very excited about that show.
Was that February 18?
Mm-hmm. And then 27th for Cross. Is that right? No. Cross is like next week. It's like the 13th.
Yeah, it's on the 11th.
11th. There you go.
But who's counting? It's coming. Why you think that chill? I don't think so. Oh, you think that there's been an abundance of black characters on your screen, and historically, there's been multiple black members of these ensemble casts. Like you think that's how it works? No, I think Storm is going to be a given, and then they're going to look around and they're going to say, "Who else are we going to use here? That's black. All right, fine. We got freaking Wonder Man. Let's put him in there. Boom.
We not getting? They're not going to give us Bishop and Wonder Man now.
Yeah, I don't see it that way. I don't see them sharing all that screen time because we know who the proper top tier X-Men who deserve to be on are, and they happen to be white. Wolverine, Cyclops, Beast, all the ones, right? They're gonna be pretty prominent. So like there's only so much screen time to go around. And Wonder Man is gonna be taking that spot, Johnny.
Ugh, please God, no.
Just because you have a black mutant, that won't take away from nobody else. You don't know how white liberals are, my friend, Johnny. You just don't get it, Johnny. Do you agree with me now, Johnny? Do I have to yell at you? There's not an example of like so many black characters who showed up and they all got some shine, even though it's an ensemble. There's only so much tolerance for how much these black characters are gonna be on screen for. I think Dwayne McDuffie had that rule. He was like, once you have 3 black characters, it becomes a black comic book, and they don't like that. Like he through trial and error, he discovered that. Yeah, go watch like the sci-fi documentary on Milestone. I think that's where he says it. Oh, whole time I thought it was Disney's whole time. It's Netflix with the monopoly.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree. All right, appreciate you for being here. Regardless, Storm is the most powerful X-Men.
Facto. Well,
she's not psychic.
The most powerful X-Men. Yeah, I was about to say it's probably Jean Grey or Professor X. I do believe she's an Omega level mutant, though. Definitely Omega level.
So. But a telekinetic can just say, Omega, my left nut.
Sure.
I was thinking of Jean Grey when I said that.
Well, no, a telepath could do that to you. A telekinetic. She's both. Yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts.
How strong is Gentle? Well, okay, in sheer power, maybe Gentle might be him. And
over Storm?
Over Storm with power, yeah. Like lifting heavy objects, power.
You mean like strength? Okay, got you. My bad. Yeah.
Strength.
Gotcha. Yeah.
No Blade, T'Challa, or Luke Cage so far. Don't worry, Raptor. They're progressive. Don't worry.
Nope. Nope.
Culture Made says, "What's happening, my peoples? Had to chime in on this one. Legion is the most powerful X-Men."
Is he an X-Men though? Is Legion an X-Men?
Is he an X-Men though? Yeah. Did we say
the most powerful mutant? Maybe. Well. Is Legion more powerful than Franklin Richards?
No one's powerful than Franklin Richards.
I was about to say nobody's more powerful than Franklin Richards. But then again, I mean,
according to Dan,
we got to go back to the telepath thing, because if I can get inside your mind, all is null and void. Like it doesn't really matter what your powers are, even if they're reality warping. If I'm controlling your brain. And I don't think Franklin can keep Legion out of his head. That is an interesting matchup. We should do a what if series.
He said, not
Oh,
over
what a
Storm. I'm
series.
just asking. No, already read that. Give me something different. It's always been said that Jean is the most powerful.
Yeah, I think it's Jean.
Yeah, but it depends on what we're ranking. It depends on what we're ranking. I think who would win in a fight? Maybe Wolverine would be the best fighter, hand-to-hand combat fighting. Maybe Wolverine would be because he can heal and he's got the adamantium.
And he's got the most training as well of anybody else on the team. So definitely Wolverine hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, everyone's got a different power that has like she can terraform a planet, but Jean can't do that. Marvel giving us more black characters than DC.
Comic wise, yeah. Maybe not. Well, DC don't really they had Cyborg, they had Hawkman with Aldis Hodge, they had yeah, no, DC MCU gave us a lot more black. Oh, no, Mr. Terrific.
Black Adam.
We counting Jeffrey Wright in the Batman.
I'm only gonna count the leads, and all I see is Black Adam. I don't. But it's bad both. Like we're arguing about who's worse, not who's better. We're like who's less worse. That's what we're really talking right now.
Yeah,
but let me finish your comment. Tell me when that Miss Terrific show or movie is coming. DC rather give us a Jimmy Olsen show. I hear you.
That's a big fact. Because you had, I mean, the Lanterns are getting a show, so Guy Gardner's going to get a chance to pop back up. I didn't really care for the I like the actor. I didn't care for her version of Hawk Girl, whoever she was playing. She wasn't playing Shire. And then, obviously you had Mr. Terrific. And then what we end up coming out of that movie with the show on is Jimmy Olsen. Continues to be disappointing, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe he'll shock the world.
He'll put a shock to your system.
Definitely would have been down for a Mr. Terrific series, though. Sure. Static Shock series? Nah, not likely, unfortunately. Black Manta. If you had to recast Black Manta, who would you get?
I don't care. He wouldn't be the star of the movie, right? But okay, I'll play along. Let me be fun.
I mean, if it's in an Aquaman movie, he would be the main villain, though. He would be the protagonist.
The antagonist. So I would go...
Or the antagonist, yeah, sorry.
The kid who played Walt from Lost. That kid.
Damn, is he old enough? Oh, and then you can get Harold Perrineau to play Daddy Manta. Hey, that'd be sick. James, now we just giving you gold now. We giving you gold. Aquaman reboot. You can go ahead and get your boy, what's Reacher's name? Alan Richardson. Get him. Damn, but then no, we got to get we got to get a bigger guy. Because Walt's small. He's tiny.
He's got a year. He can make it happen. He can take the drugs Dave Bautista just took in that movie with Jason Momoa. He looked good in that movie.
Again.
You see him in the swimming pool? Yeah.
Yeah. I'll you know what? Fuck it. I'm down. Walt and Harold Perrineau. Let's go ahead. Let's run it.
Walt and Michael. Okay. Walt and Michael. Instead of they took my son, it's they took my dad. I'm gonna pass on Wonder Man. How you a superhero show with barely no fighting? It's a waste of time. They don't need to introduce Aquaman for a long time. We don't even have a Batman.
Fam, you about to watch a Clayface movie before you have a Batman. They're not doing nothing in order. Nothing's happening in order.
Gunn ain't listening to none of this.
Well, gotta do what you can, I guess. Lead a horse to water.
Sometimes I feel like they watch, though. I feel like they watch.
Could have kept Yaya's Black Manta. Yeah.
You think they're gonna bring out One Above All? Nah, that's too deep. And then this airs in a lot of countries with different religious values, and what would they be allowed to stretch? I don't think they would do One Above All. It's too godly.
They've done Odin. They've done Norse gods. They've done.
I know this the word God. It's God, but they're not the deity of worship. They're like, just powerful people. Wonder Man wasn't a superhero show. It was a character study. WZ says Wonder Man is just a great show. If you just consume superhero stuff, then it ain't for you. It's not for the MCU peoples.
Fam, it's an MC. Do you hear what you're saying right now? It's not for the MCU peoples. It is a MCU show.
It reminds me of Last Jedi fans. It's really not the best Star Wars movie, but if you look at it for a movie, it's actually pretty decent. Sure.
It's not a great Star Wars movie, but it's an excellent film.
Yeah, because when you just judge it off the regular film stuff, you don't have to question why could Admiral Holdo put her ship into light speed into another ship, even though we never seen that before. You don't have to think about that because it's just a great movie, not a great Star Wars movie. Yeah. Yo. Don't get me started.
I get it. Like, there were some good things about the show, but like, I think a requirement of a superhero show is like somebody fighting somebody, like somebody's punching someone repetitively. Like, we got a couple meetups. We got the first meetup where the good guy loses. We got the second meetup where he either has a tragic turn or a tragic loss of some sort. He's at a crossroads. And then we have the triumphant battle at the end where the face wins. Like, that's how a superhero show is supposed to go, not whatever the hell we watched. I don't have time to go back to it.
No watch. I saw a couple Screen Crush like breakdowns, and they're doing the Easter egg, but it was like an hour-long video, so I skipped to episode 4 just to see who Doorman was, and then I jumped to the end. Okay, he rescues him out of jail. He flies. All right, that was it. Yeah. B1 FBA, he says, it would make more sense to do Mr. Terrific series since he got so much recognition.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, I think he's got the most momentum, but like they had lanterns in the work and they didn't really know what the reception would be with this Mr. Terrific thing. But now that we do know,
it was already a go. You're right. It was a go before Superman, right?
Yeah, now that we do know, I think his appearance in the next movie is cemented. He'll be in Man of Tomorrow, where it may not have been otherwise. His name B1 FBA reminds me of something. Before I joined the stream last week, you said something about me and Black Americans that I was like, wait, what did I ever say against Black Americans to make you feel like this? What do you think my position is on talking about Black Americans? You're
I just said you would let me talk about being a Black American. It was a joke. It was a joke.
All right, yeah. Go Black Americans. All love. There's no heat. We're good. You also said something about Jon Stewart, that my position is that he's a derivative character. Let me correct this, bro. Because I watch the streams because I like on my favorite YouTube channel, so I watch my stream over. It's not that Jon Stewart is derivative. It's more so the last 25 years of media has taught me something, that even with the successful outing in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited for 5 seasons, for 5 years on TV, even though he was the highest premier Green Lantern, the most notable, that he reached those heights, when it was time to do a TV show called Green Lantern, not Justice League, a TV show called Green Lantern, they went with Hal Jordan. When it was time for a movie called Green Lantern, they went with Hal Jordan. When they did Justice League War and they rebooted like with the New 52 Justice League, and we had that animated universe in the movies, they went with Hal Jordan again. They still needed someone black because, white liberals and they're guilt, so they gotta have somebody in the ensemble class who's blacks, and they just chose Cyborg to be that. And so, since I know that in each Justice League or in each Ocean's 11 or Codename Kid Next Door or any franchise, there's always the black member. Since I know there's going to be a black member, I don't want to waste that on Jon Stewart, who over the last 25 years I've seen has been replaced for the Hal Jordan when they wanted Hal Jordan more, just because this time around James Gunn is pro Jon Stewart because he made Hal Jordan 20 years older. So we know he's in the background. He may even die in the series just because James Gunn is for Hal.
Jesus Christ. Please don't talk that into existence. So first of all, the Hal Jordan movie.
I wasn't finished. Hold on. Let me finish that complete thought. Just because James Gunn is for it doesn't mean that the succeeding president of DC isn't going to also go with Jon Stewart. He's going to say, I want to be different than what James did. What's the perfect way to do that? Well, my main Green Lantern is going to be Hal or Kyle or pick whoever else. Jon Stewart in nature with him being a Green Lantern, these studio executives or the comic book executives or whoever executives are gonna have to replace Jon Stewart because they want to be different and because they can. So I'm just saying, since there's finite amount of black spots that are gonna go out with these white guys in charge, I don't want to waste that. I don't want to back that horse. So I'm kind of not going to be too crazy going gaga over Jon Stewart with Aaron Pierre playing him in the show. That's my Jon Stewart problem. Not that he's a derivative character, because Batman and Robin's pretty derivative. He becomes Nightwing and everyone likes Dick Grayson. He can stand alone on his own. People can get out of the shadow. So if Jon Stewart gets out of the shadow and he becomes the Emerald Knight or something like that, I'd be for it. Wait, that did happen. Jeffrey Thorne tried that. And then right afterwards, I think that was Jeff Johns who said, no, what are you talking? Scott Snyder. He's like, no, what are you talking about? This is a DC comic book. Jon Stewart is going to be Green Lantern. And they just undid all that and they made him a standard ass Green Lantern again. He's cemented in his role. I've been informed by the comic book company, by the studio, by white liberals. The word of today is white liberals, that he's got a ceiling on him. And so I just don't want to back the horse. It's not that he's derivative.
Okay. So let the record show that you told me to hold on. Let me finish my thought. It was 103. I gave you an additional 3 minutes. So I want a nice long berth here. Okay.
When do you never get a long berth?
Let me get it. Well, I just don't. You make so many different points in your soliloquies. It's like it's impossible to address them all because I don't get a chance. But in any case, the points still remain. I'll go back to what I was going to say in the beginning.
And I'll listen to the whole thing.
The Hal Jordan movie that you referenced was a movie that happened prior to the ascension of Jon Stewart, right? The Ryan Reynolds movie that happened.
Is it prior?
That happened before. When did that movie come out? That movie came out in 2006, 2007. Was it 11?
Maybe.
However it came about, I would say the lion's share of the Green Lantern media over the last 10 years, no, not last 10 years, probably last 20 years, has been leaning towards Jon Stewart, right? Comics and otherwise. When we finally get a rendition of a Green Lantern in a major production, we go back to Jon Stewart because he's easily the most recognizable to the youngest viewing audience who's going to be viewing this show today. Now, you talked about how when they did it, they put Hal Jordan back in the seat. I don't think that Kyle Chandler is the lead in this show. I don't think the arc, I think they've already talked about a little bit how Aaron Pierre's Jon Stewart is going to be the focus, and then going into it's going to be a buddy thing season 1, and the idea is for it to eventually be Jon Stewart on his own. I don't think him getting killed in this series is in the cards. I don't think Kyle Chandler, you don't choose a guy like an actor like Kyle Chandler if you're going forward with him to be your main guy. You choose a younger guy. You choose a fucking Ryan Gosling or Austin Butler or something like that, a younger starlet. But you don't choose the old grizzled vet if that's the guy who's going to take you forward and be your Justice League Lantern.
That's what I said.
You also hinted that they were putting Hal Jordan in the leadership position. They were putting him in the pool position. So again, it can't be both though. It can't be both. It can't be they keep going back to Hal Jordan. The only time that they've gone back to Hal Jordan that we can ascertain is the animated movie that you referenced. Does that movie have more cultural impact than Justice League Unlimited? I don't think it does. You're right in that there are a limited amount of seats, and you want your most successful one to be out in front. I don't think there's really a world where you can call Jon Stewart unsuccessful, though. Even against the path that he was set on, where he was destined to be, right? Even in spite of all of that, I don't think you could call Jon Stewart a failure as a character. So why wouldn't you continue to go forward with that? If Lanterns is a popular enough show, it turns into something, an appearance on film in the Justice League movie, or maybe he gets a Lanterns movie that's featured around Jon Stewart. You think the next guy is going to go back now? He'll have to go back all the way back to 2011. He'll go back 40 some odd years to one of the most unsuccessful films. Okay, well then that's just nonsensical. It's nonsensical. And it's not even, it's you're betting against the guy that's winning right now because you expect him to fail in the future. Okay, that's nonsensical. You're betting against the win today because it may not be there 10 years from now. Why wouldn't you take the win today?
Yeah, why would they, right? It's crazy.
No,
they'll do it again.
You and your priming of, oh, they're gonna pull the rug out from underneath him.
Again.
In the meantime of him succeeding, it's kind of like the Miles argument. It's like, oh, well, I know eventually they're going to go away from him. So all of the stuff that happened in the meantime while you're expecting them to pull out the rug doesn't count all of a sudden because you eventually will be right when the new Spider-Man comes in.
It's because they're going to do a black TV show. I'd prefer it to be with a character who isn't going to get the rug pulled underneath from him. I'd prefer the Mr. Terrific,
again,
the Jefferson
is
Pierce,
it not a black
the guy
show.
Who's not Green Lantern.
Isn't it still a black show even still?
Oh yeah, you can still find some benefit to it, but the temporary nature of it is what bugs me. So I'd rather just.
But what define it? We don't know that it's temporary until it's replaced.
Hear me out. I'd rather make the most out the resource.
But we don't know that it's temporary until it actually happens. And then you'll tell me
calling
it temporary in the meantime before it gets replaced. It's not fair. It's you literally ignoring whatever length of time it actually does succeed, and then waiting on it to actually fail for you to claim that you were right about it. But it succeeded though. But it succeeded. So
historically, Green Lantern on Justice League Animated succeeded. Right. It already happened.
And now it led to a live action reenactment of Jon Stewart. So I would call that crossover success. Why wouldn't we expect it to do that again?
You skipped the 20 years in between where they went with Hal Jordan when you said that. The Justice League TV show.
I don't know what you're talking about though. What is the 20 years where they went with Hal Jordan? What is that? In between Justice League Unlimited and Lanterns, you're saying they went with Hal? Where? They've still been writing comic books about Jon Stewart. There's still Jon Stewart on animated movies that are come out from DC. So when did they go away from Jon Stewart? I'm confused.
You use two examples right now, comic books and cameo appearances.
Which is the only place that you could see Green Lanterns in that 20-year span. So where did they go away from him?
Maybe you'll say, Monger, you're right. If I show you the Green Lantern show from 2007.
Fam. Oh, okay.
No, I was wrong. It wasn't 2007. It was 2012. There you go. There was that show there that happened. It was for a season in 2012. It's called Green Lantern. The lead character was Hal Jordan. Then there was a movie that Ryan Reynolds did. I actually said it before when we began.
The Ryan Reynolds movie was the most. It was one of the most dog shit superhero movies. That's not a shining example of
speaking to the quality. Speaking to the quality of the product isn't.
You're talking about it like it went over well, and that wasn't.
I know. We'll just see. I'm glad to have been able to represent myself accurately. Because that's my take on this, and everyone who heard it, and if they want to accept it, they don't. If we'll be back 20 years from now. Me and you will be doing Pantheon. We'll have,
and there are more than likely still be a Jon Stewart on screen, and you'll still be calling them temporary. Like one of these days, they're gonna get them up out of there, folks. I don't think anybody would, but that's not his point. His point is, if ever there's another Green Lantern property and it's not Jon Stewart, then that's his opportunity to say that Jon Stewart was temporary. Even still, in spite of that show, here we are showing Green Lanterns to a exponentially vaster audience, and who's out front?
Now we're using exponentially vaster audiences. Okay,
it's a show that nobody watched in 2012 versus an HBO Max special series. It's not even comparable content. It's literally not. It's an animated series in 2012 versus an HBO made series.
Which was
Literally
more
premium content versus children's content, and nobody watched that dog shit. But you will take that as evidence of Jon Stewart being temporary, and not the fact that when they get their biggest stage to show lanterns and they put Jon Stewart out front, that's not evidence of his staying power to you.
Using a minusculely read comic book, which is 40,000 human beings or something like that, is what I was trying to get at when I began.
You cherry pick the data that fits your argument, and you ignore the things.
I don't cherry pick data. It's data.
You
you use
cherry
comic
pick
book
the data
views.
that fits your narrative, and you ignore everything else.
It's your narrative because you were talking about exponentially more people watched. So I was here to remind.
That's not a narrative. That is numbers. That's facts. A television show on HBO made for adults. I'm going to finish my statement. You're not going to cut me off. A television show made for adults on HBO has a much larger, since you don't like the word exponential, audience than a television show that was made for children in 2012. It's a fact. That's not a narrative. A narrative would be that Jon Stewart is a replaceable character who eventually, I can't really put a number on it because he's still here today, but eventually he will be replaced, and all of the stuff that he did in the meantime doesn't matter because he's a temporary replaceable character, and they'll just show Hal Jordan again. That is a narrative. That is not quantifiable. That is not putting a date on when it's going to happen. It's not using any measurable data to prove it. That is a narrative. But saying that the HBO series audience versus whatever studio made that shit back in 2012 is exponentially bigger is anything but a narrative.
You're finishing my sentence for me. I don't have a problem with the word exponentially. I do agree with larger audiences. They do more impact, which is why I wanted to even
talking
Marcus.
About that. Oh my God. You brought that up. Now all of a sudden you're running away from it. You said that.
No, but like
you're cherry picking because you said exponentially. Now all of a sudden you're running away like you didn't say that.
You're interrupting me before I get to the point of the comic book thing that I want to get into. And I mean, insanity is trying the same thing again and again, wanting a different result. Let's cut the Jon Stewart talk then. I'm not going to try to explain this one. I'm glad that you guys were able to listen.
There's nothing to explain, fam. There's nothing. You either want to talk about it or you don't. I don't need to be explained anything. I hear what you're saying.
Gotcha. We can do Michael Jackson's biopic. We can do Aldis, Hodge, and Damson Idris. What was the other thing that was in the group chat, Marcus?
Aldis Hodge and Damson Idris. Black Panther stuff.
What's the Damson Idris part? I just saw I know he's on the thumbnail and stuff, but I forget what it was that he was talking about.
I think Christian Harloff was talking that he heard something that Damson is playing the child.
Christian Harloff is an interesting guy. The child thing, that's what's been going. My Time to Shine Hello said it. I think Daniel RPK said it too. Snyder said, I don't really know. No matter what they do say, though, they probably can change that in post. They probably can do the whole movie with him playing the child and then going, Pirates of the Caribbean just flopped with doing Jack Sparrow's son. We better make sure that when we do this movie, it's not T'Challa, it's actually T'Challa. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't really. So do you pay attention to his scoops at all, Harloff?
I watch him from time to time, but I don't really keep tabs on what exactly he says and how much he knows.
Yeah, I don't know how keyed in he is. I don't know if this is like another Jeff Snyder thing where like he doesn't know enough to actually parse through it. Maybe he assumed based off of what somebody told him. Again, I if this was a decision that was made before Coogler was involved, I don't see how they could have casted the kid for him. I also don't see how this aligns with the previous report that we heard from basically everybody that he didn't want to be a temporary variant. So the only way he could be an adult in what's to come is if they do a sizable time jump, or if he's a aged up variant from some other universe, which would put him squarely in the temporary box. Maybe it's a little bit more likely that he stays because it's already in line with what Coogler was writing. But like, fam, you signed up to be a variant. And if it doesn't go over well, they're not committed to it. So I don't know. I don't know if this changes my my meter in terms of believing it or not, whether or not it's going to be actual T'Challa or T'Child. I feel like T'Child is so much more convoluted to get to. But again, we were talking earlier about how none of this stuff is really connected and makes sense anymore anyway. So
I'm ready to see Damson Idris being asked another question on the red carpet. He's going to be at the Oscar Awards for F1. He'll be in front of somebody with a microphone who's going to ask him the question, and maybe he'll have more thought into it, more thought into the answer. He just talks about, oh, it's so respectful. Oh, Chadwick Boseman, you know, and that's smart thing to do because the generals are equating the character with Chadwick Boseman. So I guess you got to address that. But I'm waiting for him to like give a true good answer. I picked up a third building to clean on. Tonight was my first night, so it took me longer than it normally will in the future for streams. Get money. I feel bad for anyone playing a temporary variant, even if it is Aldis or Damson. Well, it's not Aldis. Even if it's
not Aldis.
Aldis or Damson. Before I'm done typing, they've already changed the subjects. Wally will return in Avengers Doomsday. Wally West?
Wally who?
This is why Aldis Hodge was doing press today for the Alex Cross TV show. He was inside in the presence of a super fan who asked him the recast T'Challa question. I thought it'd be the first video that pops up. Let me filter my results to this week. Damn, YouTube's asking me to do a third.
Were laid down what evidence? Yeah. About the
What can you tease or want for the future? Because I was like, I need more episodes.
grace has to be given for the fact that when said truth was withheld, it was not within.
Hold up.
But where I withheld truth.
I-
Like, what would we do in that situation? It's very like, you know, when your fans have been fan casting you to come into Black Panther, would you want to do that?
Ooh. Wow. I've actually answered this question recently. I'm a fan of obviously of the work. But when I think about Black Panther and anybody who kind of steps into that space, if they are to recast it, I believe what was so impactful about the film generally is the cultural impact. What Chadwick and Coogler laid down was foundation that was relevant and to a degree legacied, because there are a host of Black kids, brown kids that can look up to something and see themselves in something bigger in value. That, to me, whoever steps into that space, they would have to complement and continue that legacy. So it's not necessarily, to me, stepping into a role, it's stepping into service, because that's what that movie means to people. So, if it's something that look, Marvel ain't called me, okay? I'm gonna tell you, ain't nobody called me. But if I was to ever get that call, and it was something that I felt, or a storyline that I felt complemented and added to the legacy they already initiated, then I would love to be a part of carrying, or be just a small part of being an asset to carry that on.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Final question.
I like that answer, man. I like that answer. He feels the responsibility of the role, and he understands what it means to have this in Hollywood, man. As much as we can go back and forth. I know we agree on this one. For them to have Black Panther at Disney and to be so close on like wasting this away And I don't even think everybody in the audience necessarily understands that. If Black Panther 3 takes the same type of step back that Black Panther 2 does from in between 1 and 2, we could possibly never see another Black Panther movie, yo. If they see bad movie math with a Black film franchise, Oscar nominations be damned, Marvel darling be damned. They will have every excuse they will need to put the Black franchise in the place of just, on the shelf somewhere. On the shelf. They'll use it as evidence of the Black property not being able to succeed. They'll say, oh, well, we tried to give them the Black male lead like they wanted, and by golly, they still didn't respond. It must be a dead product. We'll move on. Just like they did with Blade. They couldn't write a story for Blade. And so now they're going to let an Oscar winner, remember, because that's supposed to be the thing that's supposed to get us through the door and give us all the respect in the world. So they'll actually listen to me, right? They about to let one walk out of the door unfulfilled on the position that they offered him almost going on 7 years ago now. You don't understand how on the razor's edge we walk with these properties. And so to be playing around with it with your own personal machinations, like your own your point of view, things that make you feel good about where you're at on your property, and not at all taking into the account what this stuff was meant to do. I love Aldis Hodge, man. I love him as an actor. I think he's a terrific guy. I wished as much as I could for him to get this role. If it's Damson,
I didn't know how much I loved. And I didn't know how much I loved him until that interview answer. It's not so much stepping into a role, it's stepping into service. Aldis. Oh, Aldis. Oh, Aldis.
Well,
I can't wait for Cross.
Okay. Hey, listen, man. I'm just trying to tell y'all. They didn't even want to let the first one on there. They like the first film, the names involved with trying to get that film made for decades. John Singleton, Wesley Snipes, like people tried to get that film made for years. How long do y'all think it's gonna let it sit there and miss money? Unless y'all like T'Challa and y'all gonna go give it to Billy, and y'all gonna go see it 2-3 times, like you didn't go see Wakanda Forever. Don't tell me about Doomcast and Black Panther. Y'all didn't go watch Wakanda Forever. Don't tell me. Go watch the movies. Since you like it so much. But the numbers said didn't like it as nearly as much as you did Black Panther 1. And all I'm saying is you get another $500 million drop from where you were the last time. We're going to be into some head scratching territory. We're going to be into some, all right, let's rethink this Wakanda thing. Like, how good do y'all think we got it at the MCU? Where do y'all think we at?
And then the nice big takeaway from it is when he says this part here.
If it's something that look, Marvel ain't called me, okay? I'm gonna tell you, ain't nobody called me.
He looks right at the camera to tell you that Marvel did not call him. Why not? Like, who's auditioning for this? Aaron Pierre? Is that who's auditioning for this?
Aaron Pierre and dude that played Martin Luther King in Selma. I like
David Oyelowo.
the fact that was even. They don't get calls for the same roles. Those are not the same type of actors. They're not this.
Yeah, if it's about age, then Aldis is younger than David Oyelowo, so he should probably be eligible, right?
I'm saying David to Aaron Pierre. And like the fact that they call there's no archetype that they're looking for. They're just looking for black. They're just looking for black.
Oh yeah, but like I think Blue said it last time we were streaming. Like they don't really understand the nuances or even care to. They just go, you satisfy this underrepresented groups on our chart, and so that's enough. Aldis read the comics. Marvel's not calling. Oh, that's Plant
He is a
Poppy,
comic
that might have
fan.
been the smartest thing I ever heard you write.
He is a comic fan.
And that's why he's not eligible for the role. You know too much. You're gonna talk about what should happen instead. That's damn. But
You're gonna
Damson's
treat
not
us
so
like
bad.
Virtual Ali and browbeat us when we give you bad scripts.
I like Damson though because
Okay.
I've heard Damson in other interviews, and he'd say it's a lot of sensible things that he could be the Chadwick Boseman. He could be the guy steering the ships and have some informative things to add.
He would be. And he would be.
But they didn't call him. Look straight dead into the lens. Marvel didn't call Aldis Hodge. Why? They don't deserve the money they have. They don't deserve it.
No, they don't. No, they do not. And yeah. A part of me wants them. I want them to just try it. Like I want them to try it. I want them to be like, oh yeah, during the incursion, somebody from that universe popped over and surprise, T'Challa forsaken his fatherly duties in that universe too. But I'm all grown up here.
You're not Toussaint anymore. You're T'Challa.
I want them to do it. I want them to march that shit out there so we can meme it to death.
I know.
And they just be utterly embarrassed for even trying it. Like I want them to.
I know. Is that wrong with me? Is you're the petty king, so I could see you, but why? Why do we want them to just fail at it? Is it just to be like
Because
vindicated?
they seem to be heading headfirst into a failure, and they're totally indignant to change. Like they set a course, and if that's what they're going to do, then I don't see it running any other way. Now, is it going to tank Doomsday? Is it going to tank Secret Wars? Not necessarily.
No,
I don't see how the franchise survives a second derivative. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. If they had done this to Harry Potter, we'd be on Harry Potter's second cousin by now. You know what I mean? Like it's not appealing. It's not what the people showed up for in 2018. And the farther you get away from that, the worse it will be.
Okay. I mentioned Toussaint a second ago. You know, I've been very anti the bastard. Been very against this Haitian legendary character or name of Toussaint, but not Toussaint himself. Just the bastard. Just the little thing over there. Let me get rid of that. Let me put this on screen. We got to talk about Haiti in the Olympics. All right, it's the perfect time to bring it up. Haiti's Olympic like outfits right there. You can see that they've got a beautiful blue pattern. They've got the horse there. Do you know that their horse? Damn, this is a terrible picture. I wish I had the link that I had earlier. This picture of this horse, it was supposed to be with somebody riding it. It was supposed to have Toussaint himself, Toussaint Lou, whatever his last name was. There, that one. Supposed to be riding the horse there. And they edited it out. They were told, you're making too political of a statement because this was somebody
told by who
self-taught himself to lead the military, to free Haiti, to bring change. He's like a iconic character. I mean, human being who existed in the figure in Haiti. And they told him that you got to edit him out of your awesome looking Olympics gear, which they killed it. I saw everyone else's Olympics gear because I just wanted to see how awesome it was. Everyone else was plain and lame. They killed it there. But the IOC said, nah, bro, we got the French and the France is not going to like this picture. So if you're wondering why it's just a red horse without anyone riding it, now you know. Toussaint was supposed to be there. And I hope Toussaint is missing from the Black Panther franchise. That's all I'm saying.
Don't do it. Don't take the franchise into Midsville doing. I don't see how the data could point to any other direction. This has never been done successfully. It's never been done successfully.
Arthur, I'm suspicious about you. Here, read this comment. Isn't Haiti a failed state? They have a president right now? Arthur Rose. I mean, I've read stuff from you in the past, and I always had an eyebrow or two raised. And now you hit me with that one, Arthur Rose. B1 FBA says it's blasphemous. They announced Blade in 2019, yet Echo and Agatha characters come afterwards and got shows.
And rumored to do a second season of Wonder Man. We can't do Blade. Oh, but we can definitely show you a race swap character that has really little to no black identity. We can do that. Do that. We'll throw in another barbecue next season for y'all. We know you like that kind of stuff.
When's Juneteenth happening? Juneteenth? Is it? Oh, it's pronounced. Okay.
Juneteenth. Oh, I was about to. I'm like, what? No, I got it late. My bad.
Sorry, I forgot my hat today. What people are missing is that playing hot potato with the Black Panther mantle for these movies, if Toussaint is the star of the third movie, makes the franchise struggle clear as day in shifting narratives. We realize it. There's an audience of many who've been watching Pantheon over the last couple of years, and prior to that, who realize this. That's where we are.
Like, imagine Superman 3 is all crypto. Like Superman and Wonder Girl. Superman and Supergirl are nowhere to be found. Whole movie, it's crypto fighting crime. And Superman 3. Are things going well? Are things trending the way that we needed to go?
The Haitian actor who played Wonder Man. No, he's not Haitian, is he? Is Yahya Abdul-Mateen Haitian?
I don't know.
His character was. He would have been good to be T'Challa. Yeah, that would have been a good pick still. That's how Yahya pronounced it in the show, too. Wonder Man.
Wonder Man.
Did he really?
I didn't hear it, if he did.
Agatha, one of the main villains in the multiverse saga, who was getting bodies.
Sure. I mean, I'm always down for a revisit to the WandaVision saga, but who knows, bro? Who knows?
Kind of mad that Marvel didn't talk to my boy Aldis. Not one conversation, not a phone call, not anything.
Dog, they were interviewing Martin Luther King and light skins for the position. Their heads were not screwed on tight enough to even make the decision. It was just get some blacks in here. Get some blacks. Didn't matter age, didn't matter skin tone, didn't matter. They was just calling people. They called John Boyega.
Is something wrong with John Boyega? He's of the age. He's of the skin
tone. I think
tone.
he may be shorter than me.
Oh, really? I thought he was taller. I thought he was like
5'8".
Oh, he's 5'8", huh? Oh. Yeah, now that I think of it, Harrison Ford was taller than him in Force Awakens.
He was just calling people. He just calling people. They didn't even care.
Robert Downey's apparently he's small, but they put lifts in his shoes during the movies.
Damn, because they never called him? That's fucked up.
Y'all see, I never mentioned Aldis as a candidate because that's what I heard. Yeah, your candidates were.
Meanwhile, David Oyelowo, John Boyega, and Aaron Pierre. Oh, okay.
Which Darius was here to give his take.
Yeah, Darius, you still showing? I see he was in the comments earlier. You still coming in? I can see John as Bishop if they don't make Wonder Man a mutant. There's only so many. There's only so many they're gonna put in there for sure. We starting at -1 because Storm is a must-have. So everything after that is an extra.
But don't you think of them as a studio who could mess up Storm and not do Storm in their X-Men? Don't you see them as like
they could cast Tina's
Keke Palmer as Rogue?
Favorite. No, they're gonna cast Tina's 5th favorite for Storm and get Cynthia Erivo in there as Aurora.
Well, at least they'd casted Storm if they do her, but I don't think it is what it is, bro. Cynthia Erivo's way too expensive, way too in demand, not willing to give time. You cast some 30-year-old actress who's got a couple movies under her belt, a TV show, a Law and Order cameo. Like you get someone like that, you scout, you interview, and then you say, sign here. It's for 5 TV shows. It's for the Mutant Academy show. It's for 7 X-Men movies. We got you till you're 40 or 50. Stay.
I would love for it to be Jamie Lawson, but and I mean, I guess with if it's Damson as T'Challa, then Jamie Lawson would be in play for Aurora. But I don't piss on my head and call it rain. Don't adopt T'Challa's stories and put it on a whole nother character and then tell me that it's all right. That's what you just did with Shuri. It's what you just did with Shuri. You know what that tells me, Chill? That tells me that when they call people misogynistic for not wanting to go along with Shuri Black Panther, when they say, oh, you just hate women, they believe that shit.
Yeah.
They believe it wholeheartedly because they look at it and they're like, fine, here go your boy Black Panther. Like that was the answer. Whole time we telling you we don't disrespect Shuri. We want Shuri to be who she actually is in the comics. We want her to be the griot. But in terms of these stories that you're trying to tell, those are T'Challa's stories, not just male Black Panther, not just man stories. Those were T'Challa's stories. And it feels like the ultimate dissonance as a creator to be like, I'm going to have my cake and eat it too. And I'm going to give them what they want, how I can give it to them. That is not how this works. This is not how this ever worked, especially in comic books. Especially in comic books. So I don't get it. I really don't get it. There's literally no data that supports that that's going to be successful. So walking head on into that's got to be somebody clenching hard. Somebody is.
You say clenching hard?
Yeah, no, they're clenching like a motherfucker because they're like, well, hold on, man. Again, just 8 years ago, 8 years ago, we had one of the biggest phenomena for a solo character in our studio's history.
Yeah, it was 8 years ago, wasn't it? Wow.
Yeah.
Time flies.
And now we talking about whether or not we're going to accept a Marvel created character to hold down the franchise. When is that you know what they doing, Chip? They're putting this is their Ray. Toussaint is their Ray. It's their attempt to move forward with original Disney content for an acquired IP. Toussaint is Ray. How many times does your Ray need to fail?
And just like at the end of her movie when she said her name, same thing with Wakanda Forever, where he says,
"It's Ray.
My real name is T'Challa."
He's Ray.
Okay, then Kevin Feige's Kathleen Kennedy. Okay, I need the Marvel Dave Filoni to step into the shoes and say, enough. We got to have the main character.
Yeah, man, that's tough. That is very tough. That's tough.
I mentioned Harold, what's his name from
Harold Perrineau.
That dude. So there was a trailer for From that recently came out. I hope I'm fine to play this trailer without any funny business.
Take control of your health.
Let me find it.
Will do.
Take care of your health, everybody. Intermittent fasting.
Mom?
If we push too hard, something will push back.
What happens next is my favorite part.
April 19 on MGM Plus, whatever that is.
So that is the weirdest situation for me, is that MGM is Prime, but they've spun off a piece of their library, all the MGM content, obviously, right, into its own sub streaming service that works through Prime?
Yeah, that's the opposite of the way people have been doing. They've been combining their streaming services.
Combining it in. Yeah, they spun it out. They acquired MGM just to spin out their own streaming service, which kind of hurts my head because I don't even understand why that's beneficial to Prime to do. I know it's probably some money scheme or whatever, but it on its face, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But I think it's really honestly taken away from what could be even larger viewership. Why not expose that to your entire library or your entire audience the same way you do The Boys, the same way you do Invincible? Like, it's clearly a popular show on the service. I don't know. Well, if you're trying to push more people to MGM Plus, but again, you own it. Why are you spinning it off?
I remember reading or hearing on a podcast that when what was it, WWE, when they merged with the UFC, a lot of the people who kind of do the same things for both companies will get fired. Like, you only need one guy to send the email to who can handle distribution, blah 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 blah, these official titles. So executives lose their jobs a lot, and those are jobs that pay like $1 million a year annually, right? Or hundreds of $1,000s at least. And if you get rid of like 20 of them, that's a considerable amount of money you just saved your business by cutting those jobs. That's what I think is the reason for combining streaming. But I guess to open up and say we're Prime, but there's MGM Plus, I guess doing that means you're banking on many subscribers paying $10 to be part of MGM, who also are already paying for Prime. And since Prime directs you to MGM Plus, maybe it'll work because it's like kind of the same website that takes you there.
But okay, I don't know, man. Because if the lion's share of the content you create at the company is going to Prime, why do I need to pay the $10 a month just to watch only from? It feels like you would need more, but then even at that point, it feels counterintuitive for you to have a whole separate streaming service for the same company. And it's kind of like what Disney did, right? They brought in Hulu and just absorbed it, just like the National Geographic stuff and ESPN. Like, it's one home. You get all of that from the same hub. Now, it's one of the worst actual streamers out there, but they got the whole consolidation thing down. Ease of access.
I've paid for things on Disney Plus, like Black Widow. That was the only thing, actually. It's just that. So if you're a big enough From fan, you're on Prime and you see it, okay, fine, I'll buy MGM Plus. What was it on prior? What was on just Prime before?
So I watched the first maybe 4 or 5 episodes on Prime, and then it prompted me to get an MGM Plus subscription. And I'm like,
so did it launch on Prime?
MGM?
Was it exclusive to Prime, or was it on a TV network first, then got to streaming on Prime?
So I think they acquired Epix. Epix was under the MGM banner. So when they acquired MGM, they got Epix, and Epix had From.
Oh, I'm on Wikipedia right now, and when I click on Epix, it takes me to MGM Plus. They must have changed names.
Yeah, that's when it all came together, it became MGM Plus. I don't think the channel is on cable anymore, though, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think you can view it from a cable package anymore. You got to have MGM Plus.
Damn. Well, that's good for them that they've got a show that puts their streaming service in conversations. Johnny says it's because MGM already had a streaming service before Amazon bought them. So the contracts was already written for the broadcast companies. I get it.
But why would that stop them if they acquired it? It feels like they would still be able to execute that contract within the company now that they own. I don't know. Oh, man. Who knows?
T'Challa been Black Panther since Jack Kirby and Stan Lee.
I'm sure.
Shuri a Black Panther, not the Black Panther. Dirty Joker, thanks for being here. I would like to politely suggest that you direct all Black Panther talks to the substitute known as Toussaint and not so much Shuri, because even they gave up on Shuri. And you don't want to be labeled as misogynistic, yada yada yada. You hate women, that kind of stuff.
Because they actually believe it. Like that's what they took from that whole experience. Is that they just don't want to see a woman in the suit. Are you even trying? Like, you gotta have some people in that building whose job it is to scour social media.
Yeah, when people just don't listen to you, that's the worst.
Yeah, I guess.
We got.
Are you talking about us or the person whose job it is to scour the internet and find out what the people were talking about?
Yeah, I'm talking about us. We got a super chat that just came in from Puma. Puma Lee, $5. Just have Freddy Krueger delete the child. Delete him, yes. It's a horror show. What else? He's doing the Matt Hardy delete, everybody. That's what he's doing. The Matt Hardy delete.
Hey, okay, yeah, I guess that did look a little crazy. Yeah, delete.
Just have Freddy Krueger delete T'Child. It's a horror show. What they're still doing to T'Challa, son of T'Chaka, King of Wakanda. Hashtag recast T'Challa. You know what I like about that, Puma Lee? That you use the capital C for T'Challa. Shout out to you. I like it when it's spelled like that. It's so pure. And what you have to say, for sure.
Got to get him back, folks. Got to get him back. What do you think about them talking about Downey staying on as... No, first of all, screw that. The fact that nobody's going to know that he's got Tony's face. But it also, we had heard that it's not part of the plot, though. Like, that's not even a thing. The fact that he looks like Tony Stark.
Yo, who the hell knows what they're going to do there? I want to wait for the movie to see. I was telling Darius this earlier. I believe that when Robert Downey Jr. shows up in that movie, it'll be to play Iron Man. Somebody else will be dressed like Doom. Somebody else will have their mask on. Somebody else will be acting as Doom on set. But Robert Downey's there to play. They're not paying him $70 million or whatever $1 million to not be Iron Man. You know, like he's playing the character we know him for.
If that's the case, that would be the greatest cover up they've done of all time in the history of the studio.
Great swerve. I would love it.
Keeping that quiet that long, absolutely legendary. Because I think everybody's completely bought into the idea that he's Dr. Doom. So success.
He may be Dr. Doom. The James Earl Jones played Vader, but he wasn't on set. All he did was record his lines months later.
Yeah, and I guess if he's not going to take off his helm, he's not going to take off the mask.
Yeah, the whole movie he's going to have his face revealed. No, most of the movie, 99% will be masked.
Do you want him to play Doom beyond Secret Wars?
No, but I don't want Doom to disappear. So yes, I want Doom.
No,
you know,
get a new Doom. Get a new Doom. If they don't take Secret Wars as an opportunity to recast like a whole sloth of characters, what's the point, man? When are we going to start thinking about the next generation? How do we start out with the kids in the school when our Wolverine is already approaching his 60s? When Dr. Doom is also, getting long in the tooth as well. I'm not speaking anything into existence, but chances are the next time we do a big big X-Men event, we'll probably have new Professor X's and Magnetos. So
absolutely,
we should probably start doing that with everybody, maybe.
Yo, we were watching Ian McKellen on Stephen Colbert, and the way he stood up out of the chair was so much
very spry.
Yeah, good for him, man.
Very spry.
I love that. And he's like 80 something. That was great. That was great. The average life
excited for the hunt for Gollum. I wasn't really too keen on, reprising all the cast because obviously people have gotten older. But that makes me optimistic.
I love that he's living. Dick Van Dyke is still alive too. He's like 100.
That's crazy. Well, not that crazy. My great grandmother is 106.
Is she like on the news every birthday? That's big.
I don't know if she's been on the news, but they usually do a big thing for her at her church every year. And this year she was actually in the hospital, so we missed it this year. But yeah, she's getting up there. My great grandmother, 100 years old, man. That's an accomplishment for sure.
Yeah, and like as a Marvel fan, I just would like to think like, you know, Marvel and DC are so successful that we don't have to wait 7 months for a new movie. Like we'd get one every, you know, like remember how Disney Plus when it first launched, we had 4 shows in the first year. I want to get back to that. I hope we're so successful so that when I'm older and I'm like 100, can't do much, but I can sit down. I'm gonna check out Monday Night Raw. I'm gonna check out all the Marvel DC TV shows, and you know, whoever's playing Cross in this generation.
If there's still a MCU, even when I'm in my senior citizen years, let's just say the comeback starts now. They
reboot. They would have rebooted probably twice by the time you get to your senior years.
Well, no, I mean, still, like, if it's still alive, like, if it's still even a thing, I don't mean the way it exists right now. I mean, period. If there's an MCU period when I'm in my senior years, we'll say that this was the turning point right here. This is when they got it all back together and made that possible.
But so if they flunk here, that's doom for the superhero genre. No.
I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to give a positive outlook. I'm saying this is the turnaround. It sure as hell don't seem like it's about to last until our 70s right now. So I'm saying this is where they turn it all around and make sure that we'll be able to watch this into our yesteryears.
Chill, why do you know about Dick Van Dyke? I've known him. I remember WandaVision, his name came up. I remember the Coldplay music video, he's in there. And then I saw the show a couple of times too, just because like, yeah, what is the show about? So I watched a couple of episodes. Shout out to Mama Marcus, that's real soldiering there.
Yeah.
106 and Park. She's, you know, 106 and Live? She's 106 and Alive. That's what she is.
106 and Alive. Nice.
Next up, Michael Jackson biopic. Let's open up the trailer for that one. I think there was a new trailer. There was one from 3 days ago. It's got 3 days ago, 1.2 million views, which is less than what Shuri's trailer, The Wakandans Will Return, got. I'm just saying. I better have me along somewhere in this trailer. Tell him, be careful who you love, like the song says.
That's dope. The standout scene for me is still the Joe scene. I need some time to think. I told you what to think. Joe, y'all don't even understand. Man, Joe Jackson is about to be an absolute menace. First of all, the prosthetics on Coleman Domingo to get him looking like the actual Joe Jackson. Dog, this is the Joe Jackson I remember, like the real life Joe Jackson when they used to show him on TV. He looked like not the reenactment from American Dream. He looked like the living, breathing soul and body of Joe Jackson. Coleman might get him an Oscar, dog. He might get him one off of this one. He might get him one.
They would give him an Oscar for playing a. They would give him an Oscar for playing an abusive father.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't make no mistakes. I knew what I was saying. He might get an Oscar off of this shit.
He
made a mark on you, huh? Shut up. Shut up. No, for real though. It's chilling. It really is. Just looking at him, like I don't even think Lawrence Fishburne, Ike Turner was more accurate than this.
Who do you want to see cast in this as a celebrity? The same way like Tupac was in the Biggie movie, the same way Biggie was in the NWA movie.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I want Prince.
Definitely,
we're not
like to see
rivals.
Prince.
We're just friends. He does look like a little Richard a little bit.
They're going to do a Barry Gordy. They'll do a
Diana Ross.
Oh.
Right before the Dirty Diana song.
We got to do a whole Dirty Diana arc. You got to walk me through that. You got to show me the relationship Michael Jackson and Diana Ross. You got to give me that. Who else? There's probably going to be a young Macaulay Culkin in there at some point.
Yeah, maybe James Brown will be on TV and Joe Jackson says, "Why can't you dance like him?" type thing.
James Brown, Corey Feldman, Chris
Jones.
Tucker.
Oh, Chris Tucker. Nah, they're not going to the future. Maybe that's part 2 for the second biopic.
Okay, yeah, you're right. That's a little far down the line. Well, but the only reason why I say that is because, well, no, he wasn't around then. I was gonna say they showed the Pepsi commercial accident, but I don't think Chris was around then.
When did Chris Tucker become friends with him? Is it because like he acted like Michael in the Rush Hour movie?
I think he claims they were always friends. He said that they had been friends for a long time. I didn't know them to be friends until close to around the Rush Hour time. So that would have been like 98, 99.
You don't want to be Chris Tucker's friends from what I'm hearing.
Well, he has weird friends. He certainly has a interesting set of friends that he never went to an island with, but
Do you believe that?
Do I believe that he didn't go?
Yeah, I never went. I never actually went though. I mean, it's just a picture, you meet people.
He got
but
every
I never
reason
went.
to say that. You know what I mean? He has every reason to say that he wasn't there and every reason not to admit that he was ever there. But dog, some of the
Somebody
shit
went. Everybody didn't go. Somebody went.
You can't all not go and only been looking for business advice from a man without any discernible degrees.
But at the same time, I just don't want to finger point and say who did and who didn't. So that's where it goes for me. Like, do I think he went?
No,
I don't know,
man. There's some
I don't know.
nasty stuff in there, like scary stuff. I will never let anybody tell me anything is a conspiracy anymore because of what's come out in this stuff.
Oh, you know what? Well, the term conspiracy theory, it was coined by CIA. It was done to ostracize anyone who ever questioned some of these elaborate things. Like they want that label out there.
Dog, Pizzagate, the whole Pizzagate stuff that was going crazy on 4chan all them years ago. He started that with the dude who started the whole art, the whole story to muddy the waters about what was actually going on. Like, I don't want to hear tinfoil theory. No, none of it. It's all in play now. All of it. Sacrifices, dismemberments. Dog, it's scary outside for sure.
I'm so tempted to change the topic and just get straight into that stuff, but this is not the stream for that. They're going the fences route of Domingo being verbal abusive as Joe. Fine, just be verbally abusive then. Just verbal, okay.
Oh no, it's gonna be some ass whoopers in there. Somebody getting some belt. Somebody's getting some belt. Don't think he playing Joe Jackson. Ain't nobody getting no leather.
Do you know what the film is rated, or is it not yet rated?
I don't know.
Antoine Fuqua, Lionsgate. It doesn't say when it's rated.
I feel like an R rating is appropriate so that we can talk about everything in its proper light.
But like, they could also just show him. 13. They could just show him with the belt and then cut to the next scene the next morning over where Michael's sore. Like you don't have.
Or you could just hear it. You could just hear it. Somebody getting leather and switches. Y'all right. You go pick a switch out there in Gary, Indiana. But I mean, even outside of the children abuse, there's infidelity. There's stuff with him and what is her name? Why can't I think of her name right now? Catherine Jackson. There's a pretty decidedly adult content that they're gonna be handling in this. So I feel like it's leaning towards an R. They could probably survive a PG-13 if they wanted to.
The way that Michael
13 is the rating.
Okay, then. So we keep clicking on it. Go ahead, you click on it. from the way that all of the people at the studio were talking about Michael during this trailer, it does portray them as evil. And that's the way I like it. I
Go
recall,
to bed, Joe.
I recall what his daughter said, that this is the fantasy. If you want that, you're gonna get that. Sure. I don't want Michael being portrayed as the bad guy. There's enough of that has happened in the last 30, 40 years that this will be the puff piece. This will be the one for the fans. Sure. Antoine Fuqua can do no wrong. And I'm excited for what original IP Antoine Fuqua does. That's not race swapped or any of that stuff. Like, I want to see what Antoine Fuqua help launch something. And he gets to say, I'm the guy who directed Denzel. I'm the guy who directs Michael and whatever else he has that he's directed.
Hurricane Carter, Equalizer. What else he done?
Denzel
Antoine
movies.
Fisher.
And so he, you know, what he does next, like, it's important to me. He's getting up there. He's in his 50s. He's 60, actually. Damn.
Yeah, you don't need to be young to make movies. Francis Ford Coppola is still making movies, so.
How good was the last one?
It wasn't great, but he's still making them.
His dad was in the service and beat those kids. Would have been dope as hell if Chadwick was still living. They could have got him to play
Jermaine. He to play Jermaine Jackson.
Oh, no, he could have cameoed as James Brown. Why not?
Yo, hey, see, there you go. Now you thinking little connected universe stuff. That would have been dope.
A connected universe.
Yep.
He'd probably love to take that role. Oh, I got to play him again? Yeah.
Because the dude who played Biggie showed up in the Tupac movie.
Yeah, the connected universe. But would he be like Vince Carter, where, yeah, I don't want to mess with perfection? Like, I did my one dunk contest. I'm not going to come back later.
Nah, you got to come back, bro.
You got to come back.
Got to come back.
Black Guru changed his mind. My opinion has improved about the MJ biopic. That's what a trailer will do for you. An actual trailer with some story showing you the feel of the movie, what they'll address, how they'll depict the parents. How this was an intense little trailer. And I'm not worried about spoilers for the Michael biopic. It's a biopic. We kind of know the spoilers.
Lawrence, we don't do that. There's going to be 10 more James Browns played on 10 more James Brown biopics. We pass that baton on.
Did you mean that literally, Lawrence? That's not something that's a recast T'Challa guy would say. No one else can play James Brown ever again.
It's a knee-jerk reaction, I guess.
Or he means it in the playful way that he's obviously being facetious.
Sure.
For this, Chadwick would have done it. Yeah, he would have done it. I think so. I think maybe he would have done it. So yeah, he's joking. Michael will be my Infinity War.
Now, you want to see a film that's going to make $1 billion, $2 billion, $5 billion, maybe even $2 billion. That film, if for no other reason to sing along, people are going to remember what a megastar looks like when that film comes out. You know, we argue a lot about who's this, who's that, and our superstars today, and how big they are, and what audience they command in and out of music. This is going to be a reminder to what a megastar actually is, an international superstar.
Jafar Jackson he's 29 years old, and he's playing Michael Jackson in this movie. Okay.
Yeah.
So same with like O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ice Cube's son, and he really hasn't had much of a career. He randomly showed up in Andor, right? He was in Den of Thieves.
Yeah, Den of Thieves. Yeah.
Couple of those two movies, of Den of Thieves. He never really took off though the way that that was his big movie in NW and Straight Outta Compton, and then now, so I think Jafar Jackson, because he's older, maybe he'll have a better shot at spawning into becoming the next like Will Smith, Michael B. Jordan, the next kind of like black go-to actor what Aaron Pierre is right now. I think Jafar might have a chance after this.
I would also say it's not over for O'Shea either. I mean, he's still a young guy. He's still got plenty of opportunities to get that game changing role. Plus, now he has enough. I think he has enough Hollywood notoriety that his name by itself, not necessarily Ice Cube's son, but he can survive on his own name. So,
and his size too. With all due respect, like, they're not casting people of that size to be the leads of a lot of movies. Respectfully.
See, and I hear that, but then well, there aren't a lot of them. You're right. There's not a lot of them. I for one think that Jonah Hill got very unfunny when he started obsessing about his weight, but maybe that's just a personal thing.
Even Anthony Anderson slimmed down recently. Did you see him on?
Is he still funny? Like, is he still the
Hudson?
Anthony Anderson we remember?
Did you see Anthony Anderson on Jennifer Hudson's Spirit Tunnel?
I did not. I saw him walking the New York streets with Roxy from 106 in Park.
Oh, I love Roxy. Let me play this from the start.
I know he's a star.
Yeah, he got super small.
Say again.
He got really, really small. He got that little real Howery body now.
I love that. Let me check out how old this dude is too. Let me see it. He saw what happened to Martin Lawrence. He said, "Nope, I'm not gonna have health issues." He's 55 right now. And actually, last I saw Martin Lawrence, he was looking pretty good too.
Yeah, Martin's in step. Y'all right about them GLP-1s, man. That's it's the popular thing to do. I'm interested. Oh, Anthony Anderson actually has diabetes. Well, then he should be on insulin already. What the hell does he need Ozempic for? He should be taking his insulin regularly. You don't take a GLP-1 over regular insulin. He shouldn't be doing that. Anyways, I don't know if that's what he's doing anyway.
Whatever Paul George's taking, and take it all.
I think that in terms of these GLP-1s, it'll be interesting to see some of these folks 10 years later, because it creates a dependency. Like you're actually making yourself an insulin dependent diabetic by getting on it. You get off of it, and it's just the appetite curve, right? So it forces you to take in less calories, so you lose the weight super quick. Well, for that,
why don't you just?
I was just gonna say, so for that effect to stay, you have to keep taking it. It's not you can't change your body's chemistry. It's literally just curbing your appetite.
Wow. That would be such an insult to me if our doctor said, "Now listen, biologically, not much going to change right here, right?
Yeah,
but since you don't have the discipline, we're just going to give you this drug instead."
That's the whole point, Jill. And when they first started doing this, it was causing insulin shortages. I'm a type 1 diabetic for everyone. That's why I'm kind of into this. I understand what was happening though. So when it became known that people were getting these scripts to try and lose weight, they basically just created a whole market around it. Instead of, getting drug abusers to stop buying insulin as weight loss drugs, they just start selling generic versions of it on the internet.
So if you use it for a year, that's it. Your body depends on it. But if you use it 4 times, you're good. You can live.
Yeah, I don't know what the cutoff date is, but it is a habit. It's an insulin, right? Your body produces insulin naturally, and so sometimes when your pancreas is overworked, people who are gaining weight or have bad diets and stuff like that, it produces less, or your body becomes insulin resistant. So the GLP-1s literally force you to take in less calories so you can shed the extra weight, but it's a use as needed kind of thing. You're going to be on it if you want to sustain the weight loss.
Huh.
It's an insulin.
More you know.
Well,
good way to
I don't
end
believe
today.
that either. I don't believe this, John. That everybody can't go to the gym and work out. Now, it's interesting for me to say that because, you know, I spent my whole life not eating sugar or drinking pop. So it's like, it's easy for me to do. But getting up and walking could be the difference between you, you know, being morbidly obese or just, you know, being a little pudgy.
Doing a plank, doing some push-ups on your knees, doing them on the wall. There are exercises that don't require the gym. So if we just scratch that out and just say like, you know, fitness and just say workout, right? Not necessarily having a gym membership, right?
Yeah,
So,
it's anything. You don't got to be a workout warrior. You don't got to run miles. Getting up and walking is enough to curb some of the effects of what you eat or things you don't do. So I don't buy that people have to take insulin to lose weight. That's
which he's not saying. He's just saying that's why it was created, and he's
No, I get you.
recognizing
No,
the
no.
existence of the lazy dudes. And mind you, like, look at me. I'm not the picture of perfect health. So, you know, I'm just saying I need to have some more discipline. But I've been saying that for years. Remember that time I told you I need to dunk a basketball? It's been a while. I never dunked no basketball. That was a year ago, right? That was a while.
Yeah.
I told you that. I'm
No,
gonna do
I
calf
think
raises.
that-
No, I didn't do that.
No, it's the little stuff, man. And I know, especially my demographic, it is not the most popular thing to go see doctors and stuff like that. But that's another one too, is staying on top of that part of it, making sure everything inside is moving the way it's supposed to. Oh yeah, J. Cole is dropping tonight, huh?
Jermaine Cole.
Yep. Yeah. Well.
I can't wait for the RDC skit.
I wonder where he goes with this whole thing. I feel like he's in a weird spot. I don't think people are necessarily lining up the way that they were lining up for the fall off before. I think they lining up now for more of what comes of this. Do you talk about anybody? You name drop anybody? Do you address the beef again? Like, where do you go? But if he just sit up there and big dog it the whole time, I don't know if people want to hear that anymore.
I know some healthy and shaped big people, they just big boned.
No comment. No comment. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
You got the simultaneous sigh.
Yeah.
But is that your name? But a man Ranton. Aldis Hodge over Damson Idris for the role. Says the most BK. Inner chalk. What? 3 in a row. People who were not here the whole stream just wrote a comment. J. Coleslaw. That's funny. Did y'all see the SNL with Teyana Taylor? I don't really watch. I've seen a skit though.
I think they just had Cardi B on too. It was a little dry.
I seen the skit where the news were reporting something. Can you believe this is how we treat American citizens? And she looked like Keenan. They said,
Hey, that really has taken me. How like shocked people are watching the and RIP Renee Good and Alex Petiti and Keith Porter
Jr.
as well. But the shock that people have, but like, oh my God, they just did it right there in the street. Murder in the street? Like, bruh.
These are supposed to be officials in the law enforcement.
They can't just execute him. He hasn't seen his day in court, bruh. Tony Yayo, me. Stop playing with me. You come on now. I understand people live in their own echo chambers and their own bubbles and stuff like that, but goddamn. How can you not draw those connections? How can you not? Not to mention, talking about barbarism in the country, one group used to eat the other group here. It ain't surprising that the authorities then rose all the way to the levels of killing white folks in the street. Duh. It's almost like somebody's been yelling that at you for centuries now. Crazy times we're in.
Imagine knowing the nutrients that filled your ancestors was human body. And like, you're a product of that. So that basically energy transferred to you.
But that's where all that guilt stuff comes from. When they be yelling about, you want us to feel guilty. We ain't say none of that. You just know, the real, and you feel it on your own. We're not making you feel nothing. Blame your great-grandparents. Blame your great-great-grandparents, the ones who stood around at the picnics and the barbecues. You know what I'm saying? Blame them.
Said something like
the origin of barbecues and picnics, if everybody didn't know.
Everything's racist. I saw a racist origin of the song Eeny Meeny Miny Mo. Like that has racist origins. Ice Cream Song, you know that.
Ice Cream Song, yeah.
National Anthem's pretty racist. Yeah, there's a lot of racist.
What was the
songs.
first thing to ever be insured?
What was the first thing to be insured? A slave?
Yep.
But y'all love it when it's from Game of Thrones and shit.
Hey, relax. It's a lot of white slaves in Game of Thrones. They don't. At least they're smart enough not to make the only black people in the show the slaves.
Boggles my mind that those folks are surprised.
Me too, Pam. Me too. I really don't know what they're surprised about. Detroit, Chicago, Redwood, Tulsa, like y'all surprised?
They need more informative shows. What's a good show we need? How do we inform them?
Central Park, Seneca, the Seneca place or Seneca Village.
So basically, you're saying the shows and the information is out there. It's in the entertainment. It's all over. It's just, are you watching?
Y'all know. Y'all not really surprised. Y'all can't be.
Well, then let's focus on making the entertainment some uplifting, great stuff. Pre-colonialism and Children of Blood and Bone comes to the movie theaters 11 months from now. We can watch. What's another good movie that we should be promoting that we're looking forward to? There's something. The Michael biopics should be good.
Michael biopic.
What's Idris Elba up to? Is Michael B doing a movie this year? No, he just had it last year. He takes years off. Come on, guys. Somebody act in something. Somebody big. Think of actors. Is Cynthia Erivo doing anything? Yeah, Children, Blood and Bone.
Somebody just got cast with Scarlett Johansson in something, and I'm just I'm blanking on it right now. Oh, Lawrence Fishburne is in the Exorcist movie with Scarlett Johansson.
Is there
I know it's not really your stilo, but no, I don't think it's made yet. They're still casting.
Okay, what's Viola Davis up to? Is she doing another? She playing Michael Jordan's mom or something?
In what?
Anything. Viola Davis, 60 years old. No, she's not doing anything. Not recently, at least. Oh, she's in Children of Blood and Bone also. Huh.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. It's kind of a shoot 'em up movie. The new Zazie Beetz has a movie that's coming out. It's called They'll Kill You.
Ooh, yay. That one. Yeah. Check out the Zazie Beetz movie. And watch SmackDown for Trick Williams.
Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Idris is currently doing season 2 of Hijack. What is season 1 of Hijack?
Is it an animated show?
Yeah, what is that?
I actually don't want to type Hijack on my Google. I'm good on that one. I don't want to end up on a list. I was about to. I put HI. I said, no, never mind. Oh, The Wrecking Crew is underrated on Prime, but no black actors. Yeah, but they had like every Filipino alive on that movie.
That was funny. I'm not going to type Hijack.
We'll skip this one. Mike, you can let me know what Hijack is. But yeah, it's important to me to plug the things that do happen that we will care about. Keke Palmer and SZA are gonna play in that movie in one of them days again. I think there's talks of doing a sequel.
Just one of them days.
So since that movie came out last year, they're probably bound to film the sequel this year, and boom, we'll get our new movie.
if
Kiki's
Kiki
also
can find the time in between all these other like questionable roles and projects she's doing right now.
Oh, you're not okay with the bootleggers or the boosters?
I don't. It could be a good movie. Could be a good movie. But I asked this question on Sunday. I'm like, if you had to make a list of narratives that you wanted to see from Black films next year, where does Boosters versus Fashion House Madam rank? Like, where does that? I just
I know.
Do something else. Do something else. Yeah.
I'm
And I know
100%.
Boots Riley is really popular and he's done things that people have liked in the past. I'm not trying to discredit his work. I wanted to see something else from that cast.
You just made me think of Lakeith Stanfield, and he's a 34-year-old actor with, oh my God, great talent. He's done so many movies where he's been able to flex his chops. I love Boosters he's got coming up in 2026. And then there's a movie called Fast, F.A.S.T, a thriller film directed by Ben Richardson, written by Taylor Sheridan. It stars Brandon Sklenar and Juliana Canfield and Lakeith Stanfield. So he's third on the casting. So really nothing too important. It's not gonna get me out of my seats,
Gotcha.
You got to be first in the casting, or you got to be like Damson, Idris in F1. You make me think that, you know what I mean? Be a little bit more than just the third guy on the casting for me to get interested.
That F1 is probably the most slept on film of 2025
because it looked good, well acted, story.
It was so good. I saw it twice. 3 times if you count streaming, but I saw it twice in the theaters, and it was good every time I see it.
With the same group twice?
No. First time was a date night. Second time was a family night at the drive-in.
And then the last, that's a good car movie to watch in the drive-in, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Do people honk their horns and stuff like at scenes? Nah.
But it was cool to have it on the car speakers though, as they were driving and stuff. It kind of felt like the surround sound, like he was like kind of hearing the rain outside and stuff. That was pretty cool.
Well shot movie, good looking movie, and Damson Idris is here, bro. Wonder what he's gonna do. I love what Will Smith was able to do. He took so many roles that like he led in. Like every year he had like a summer movie. Or every second year, and he was killing it. He got lots of roles, a very diverse character set, if that's a word. Sometimes they were action movies, whatever 7 pounds was, very depressing.
Yeah.
He did his thing. I don't think your boy Darius will be here today because it's 12.
Yeah, doesn't seem that way.
No.
Plus, we already talked about everything. It feels like.
Yeah. Let's do a super chat on the way out. I talked about Kiki Palmer. Let me give her a love.
Homeboy, man up. I'm a real get money, baller, stand up. You see her with the kid. You know what it is.
They see her with the kid, but not the child, not that kid. Lawrence Arnoli, 199. He says, what will you do if they go forward with the child? I will compromise my morals and continue supporting Marvel at the same level. I will seek further closer relationships with Marvel Studios. That's what I'm gonna do.
I will continue to support the franchise the same way I did with Wakanda Forever.
So you got it wrong. What you're supposed to do if they do the T'Challa is you're supposed to say, well, at least it's T'Challa. That's what you're supposed to do, Marcus.
Nah.
So wrong.
No thanks.
Lawrence, what kind of question is that? Like yeah, screw T'Challa. I just won't give them money. I'll still buy the T'Challa comic books. But in no way do I go, this is great, or accept it, or like cheerlead it. No, bro. What will they do if they go forward with the child? That's what I'll do. I'll say this is wrong, and I will hope that you don't continue burning down this great franchise, and want for you to flop so that we learn the want for you to, I want for you to block so that you never get the idea that you can do the the child thing again.
Here's the thing, like it's not really incumbent on me to draw the line in the sand. They're gonna do what they want to do, but I do have the benefit of this platform that we share together, and I'm on wax. So for better or for worse, we'll be able to come right back here and assess the damage. But I will continue to say that we've never seen a superhero franchise be handled this way. Has never existed in that way. Even if the position that they were promoting was a quote unquote mantle, they've never handled it this freely, at least not successfully. Right? They recasted Keanu in Speed 2, and that killed that movie. So and it was the same guy, So I don't know. I don't see it really being a fruitful venture, but that's what predictions are for.
I guess in a way I sort of respect your question just to get me on record. Yeah, that's the way I'll be. They met you halfway. I know you're joking.
They met you halfway.
Yo, Lawrence, I know what YouTubers you're watching, dude. What if it's Azuri taking T'Challa place from Secret Wars going forward? That's a Kirby character that he created, not Toussaint, created by Coogler.
If it's Azuri,
it's not T'Challa again. It's not T'Challa. That's the problem.
Not T'Challa. Yeah. I mean, it would be canonically at least a little bit more sound, but it doesn't change the fact that the franchise survives off of his titular character. That character is T'Challa. Has been, always will be. And any attempts to recreate it or to co-opt that relationship, it'll fail. You're not dealing with a brand new IP that you can sculpt on your own and tell the narrative to. This is an established IP. As much as they probably don't like that, as much as they probably detest the fact that they have to deal with people who have expectations for this IP, it's the case.
Low expectations. Look, my expectations is use the main character. That's
the character, bro. Like we haven't even gotten to a point where we can talk about like how what stories are left for, like, fam, they're all on the table. We haven't done anything.
I'd love to be here, and then me and you are chatting about what Denzel was cast as, and T'Challa's going to be in the movie, and they're going to draft a priest instead of a Hudlin, instead of a Coates, and we can say which one's better, the same when we fight over which Spider-Man's the best actor. I want to be there with the Black Panther franchise, not here where we're like still on T'Challa, the basics.
Yeah.
T'Challa. Andre Holland also has 2 films coming out that he stars in and produces: Love, Brooklyn, and The Dutchman. I mean, if it wasn't the end of the stream, I probably would have Googled those and then looked for more information, but we're about done. They mentioned Azuri from Black Panther only once, so they can show him either Secret Wars or Black Panther. If they never mention him, they could still show him. I have a feeling we'll see CJ Chadwick. Now, they know not to do that. They know what they won't do that one.
That'd be pretty distasteful, yeah.
How they killed him and left us with this child. Yeah. I want that for every legacy Black-led character. Yeah, recasts? Sure. Thanks for coming to another Pantheon stream. On behalf of Marcus and Darius, I'm Chill. And you want to plug your show? What are you guys gonna do on Saturday, Sunday? What you got?
You already know where we're at. We'll be on the couch on Sunday doing Dubs and Nails and Behind the Cake. So come check us out on Back of the Bus. Behind the Bus is a little nuts.
Well, you can check me out on Monger. I am going to make another milestone video this week and get 30-something views on it again, because I'm crazy like that, and I don't care about what the algorithm does. Okay? Okay.
Cue to Josh.
Hey, I've been watching y'all every single time on Thursday and Friday because I swear to God, y'all switch up every now and then. But rock out. I'm fucking with it. I'm out.
Thank you, Josh.
Appreciate it.
All right, dog.